There's a lady in town. She's an Orthodox Jew, and she needs to buy bread that is unleavened. And she's buying bread at 7-Eleven. Oi! And the bread is wonder. And the bread is wonder. And the bread is really wonder. Turning us down. It's so hard to keep the hips down. Get me my wheelchair. Wish my face was rearrangeable. It's kinda wrinkly and unstraightable. Father time's so deplorable. Get me my wheelchair. I'm so looking lonely. But elderly don't hurry, no boy. Pretty soon I'll be losing my hair. My aching body needs a cane to lean on. Grab my dentures and then put some denture cream on. Used to look sharp when we were lads, but if you think that we look really bad, check Keith Richards out, that's truly sad. Get me my wheelchair. Voice is shot, but I'll still sell 1 million, cause it sounds good next to Bob Dylan. Now that we've made a killing, get me my wheelchair. Give me my shirt now. Where's my tail picture? He's losing a leg to get you. Where's my glasses?
Now, is this like a nightmare, a bad dream? It's only 10:04 and we're on the air already? I don't understand this.
What?
See, if there's one thing I can't deal with, well, several things I can't deal with, and I refuse to deal with, like when people will send me a message and say, oh, and a happy and healthy New Year right about this time.
Happy New Year.
And my response to that mentally, I don't say anything because I just bite my tongue and think, okay, tell me the same thing like January 1st would be good. I can't deal with this. But it's the Jewish New Year and it's a very holy day and it's Rosh Hashanah, and yeah.
In honor of Rosh Hashanah, I'm having a pork and ham sandwich.
Well, good for you. I might just have me a nice bacon cheeseburger a little bit later and maybe something else as trafe as possible.
From Howie's.
Yeah. In fact, I already had bacon, so I'm already going to go to hell. Although on Yom Kippur, when we start eating on Yom Kippur, that'll really be bad. Of course, when you work at WQAM, we already know that every day is Yom Kippur when you work for Greg Reed. Make no mistake about that. I just am not into these, and I'm especially not into people who all of a sudden turn very religious on the high holidays, you know, no matter which holiday it is. People who never go to church every Easter or Christmas or whatever. Oh, well, we're very devout Catholics or whatever it might be, and we can't show up for work today.
Mm-hmm.
Like Good Friday, for example. What kind of a scam is that?
For some of us, every holiday is a high holiday.
Yeah. Well, I know somebody who every holiday's a high holiday.
Hi, Howie!
Yeah, a Jeff High holiday. But that's another story. So evidently Stern is pretending to be Jewish today, and he took the day off, so they had a best of tape.
Wait, Rick has a balloon. He might fling it.
Well, there's Ricky Ticky Sanchez.
But most of them have fallen off.
Might just blow away right there on CNN.
Go on top of these
street light.
covers up there.
Very exciting.
And they have literally just flown off, as have
by the way, Rick,
railings,
that guy is still dead, the one that you hit when you were like boozing up a little bit in front of PP Park.
This is live. Something could actually fall off and hit him.
What we see is a lot of
we got plenty of time
Category 1 tropical storm style debris flying all over the place. You mentioned a little
while
ago, Bill, that people there in Mobile are starting to get out. People are not getting out.
I paid a lot of money to see him impaled right on one of them spikes.
Still under a tornado warning for much of the area. Good reason to be concerned because, as you had alluded to...
Hey, by the way, Rick, just in case you're wondering, the people of South Florida, most of us still hate you like poison. You're an idiot. Hyperventilating idiot. But best of luck to you at CNN, because at least then you won't be coming back. Anyway, here's the 8 a.m. Do we really want to do this stuff on Hurricane Jeanne?
Oh, let's do something.
Jeanne became a hurricane, the sixth of the season, near the eastern tip of Hispaniola this morning. And hurricane warning is now in effect for the eastern and northern coast of the La República Dominicana from La Plata southward to Isla Sauna. A tropical storm warning hurricane watch are in effect along the northern coast of La República Dominicana from west of Puerto Plata westward to Monte Cristo. I do like a good Monte Cristo sandwich, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Boy, those are good. I haven't had one of those in a coon's age.
You're right, with the powdered sugar on it and
yeah.
Mm.
Where did I ever have a really good Monte Cristo sandwich? I don't know, but boy, I'd sure like to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Wags used to have them.
Wags?
Sure.
Had Monte Cristo sandwiches?
Yes,
boy, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Wags had pretty good spaghetti and meatballs. I do remember. I liked Wags. Anyway, this area in La República Dominicana will likely be upgraded to a hurricane warning later this morning. There'll be an 11 o'clock advisory. It doesn't look like we got any problem with it, although I'm sure that the weather fairies are desperately trying to, draw it in, suck it right in. You know, they have a lot of practice at that. Suck it right in and, bring it by voodoo into the South Florida area. So you poor bastards who are, even now, a lot of you not recovered with electric and whatever, have to go through it again.
Oh, man.
Tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch remains in effect along the southern coast of La República Dominicana. I just got through reading that, and it's not my bad, it's their bad. They're repeating it over and over again. Tropical storm conditions also likely along the north coast of Haiti. A hurricane watch remains in effect for the southeastern Bahamas, including the Acklins, Crooked Island, the Inaguas, or is that Iguanas, Mayaguana, and the Ragged Islands, and Minotaurus, as well as for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Interest elsewhere in the Bahamas should monitor the progress of Jeanne. It's moving toward the west near 9 miles an hour, but a gradual turn to the west-northwest, we certainly hope, is expected in the next 24 hours. Maximum sustained winds near 80 miles an hour, and that's about it. What's the pressure? What's the pressure? Minimum central pressure of 985 millibar. That ain't too bad. It's barely a hurricane. It's a Cat 1. And they're saying it might become a Cat 2 by the time it gets east of you folks, but that's the way it goes. Got some very bad news in relation with our poll yesterday, and I guess that was a bad slip of the tongue. Remember the guy called in and said the Ramones as far as underrated rock group, and I said, oh, he's still dead, meaning Joey Ramone, of course. Well, little did I know, boy, you better never cross me, because if I say you're dead, you're dead. You know what I mean?
I'm dying over here.
Guitarist Johnny Ramone dies at 55.
He died?
Right on the day that we were talking about dead Ramones. Johnny Ramone, guitarist and co-founder of the seminal punk band The Ramones that influenced a generation of rockers, has died. He was 55. Ramone, who had been fighting a 5-year battle with prostate cancer, died in his sleep Wednesday afternoon at his L.A. home, surrounded by friends and family, said the band's longtime artistic director, Arturo Vega. I wonder if he's related to Lou Bega. He was the guy with a strategy. He was the guy who not only looked after the band's interests, but also was their defender, Vega said in a telephone interview from New York. Ramone, whose birth name was John Cummings. I wonder if he was kin to Burton Cummings, you think?
No.
Had been hospitalized in June at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Johnny Ramone was one of the original members of the Ramones whose songs I Want to Be Sedated and Blitzkrieg Bop, among others, earned them an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002. Johnny Ramone co-founded the Ramones in 1974 in New York along with singer Joey Ramone, bassist Dee Dee Ramone, and drummer Tommy Ramone, who's the only surviving member of the original band. Did you know that?
I do know.
All 4 band members had different last names but took the common name Ramone. Joey Ramone, whose real name was Jeff Hyman. Oh, I wonder if he was related to Bobby Hyman, the dating lady.
No, Hyman Roth.
Boy, was she a pain in the ass. Whose real name is Jeff Hyman, died in 2001 of lymphatic cancer. Dee Dee Ramone, whose real name was Douglas Colvin, died from a drug overdose, a dung overdose in 2002. And it goes on and on. Even Bruce Springsteen was moved. After seeing the Ramones in Asbury Park, New Jersey, Springsteen wrote Hungry Heart for the band. His manager, however, swayed him to keep the song for himself, and it became a hit single. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can't stand Bruce Springsteen, man. He gives me spilkies. He's a screamer, a shouter, a yeller, a wailer.
Really?
He's kind of like a male, what was her name?
Captain Ahab, wailer?
Huh? No, me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. A screamer. A wailer. Don't we have a Janis Joplin? I wonder if that's in here. Because I have put a lot of stuff in here that I don't. Not that one though. It's ACN.
Yes,
I probably could find it. Well, we got a lot of time to dig around, do all kinds of stuff today. This is good. No pressure. We don't have to run. Might even take a few calls here today. WQAM.
Gracious, good afternoon to you. Good morning, I'm sorry.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Likewise.
Goodness gracious.
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Not interested. Don't celebrate these silly-ass religious Jew or Goy holidays. Not interested. But anyway, back at you.
Yeah, I found it interesting. The guy who precedes you alleges that he doesn't either, but he always manages to take the holy days off. Oh, well.
I thought I had a scam going. This guy, there's more best ofs on that show. He's only been on the station about 3 or 4 weeks now. He was on vacation 2 of the weeks, and now he's taking off today for a Jew holiday. It's getting a little ponderous with these best of and worst of, you know. I mean, I'm not complaining the fact that he gets done 11 o'clock or 10:45, but at least do it every day.
Absolutely.
The worst thing that can happen is you come in mentally prepared to do about 3 hours and 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, oh, it's a best of tape today. You got the whole 4 hours, and you're thinking, oh, crap.
Yeah, because now you got to get dressed early and, you know, brush your teeth and all that.
I don't have to get dressed or brush my teeth. I'm sitting here in my apartment.
I know, that is probably the greatest job on earth.
It is.
Service,
It is.
But no, you mentioned all the Ramones being dead. Does that include the fifth Ramone, or was he? Yeah, the fifth Ramone, Alex Bennett?
We can only hope.
We can only hope it's right.
On that note,
have a lovely day.
And you too.
Bye-bye.
Who was that? Was that somebody we know?
I don't know.
Boy, that sounded like a coherent caller. I'm just not prepared for that.
Right out of the box?
Start the show? Right out of the
box.
box.
That'll be the last one we get today.
No, you'll see. Let's have another coherent caller right away just to show that George is full of it, all right? I guess we'll just do the 2 breaks this hour. I'm not into this business of taking breaks that we don't need to take just so...
that's wrong somehow.
I've been doing this a long time, and if I can't, fill a few extra minutes, especially with all the off time that we get now with a Stern scam going on, then, what can I say? And by the way, the person who's not supposed to be listening to this show, turn it off right now. Turn that radio, find something else, find a hobby, go play a solitaire, go play a mahjong, go play shuffleboard, but turn this off right now, and stay off our website, too, by the way. Troublemaker. Look for the QAM van today, noon to 2 at the Wendy's. Boy, I sure like Wendy's. Although I like Hardee's a lot, too, with them bacon Schroomburgers. I haven't had one of those in a long time. And what's the other one? Is it Hardee's? I think we have a Hardee's here in the Eaton Center in downtown.
Lucky you.
At any rate, look for the QM van today, noon to 2 at Wendy's, located at 8100 Northwest 33rd Ave in Hialeah. Ooh. Stop by and win prizes and register to win a Honda Civic Hybrid from South Florida Commuter Services. And then 5 to 7 today, the van will be out to the public at 1305 North University Drive in Coral Springs. Look for the Rock Green or the
Rock Solid
light beer display, and spin the wheel for prizes 5 to 7. Now, how was Treasure Island last night?
It was rock solid.
Was it?
Yes, it was. Or some of us were.
And
what? It was great.
Well, I'm just asking, did we have a good turnout? I mean, how the hell did the thing go?
We had a good turnout, a lot of visitors. The burger was great. We had hotties.
By the way, Johnny Ramone died.
Yeah.
Here's another great call. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Hi. Yes, ma'am.
This is Diane. I wanted to tell you, every time I see Mrs. Kamal on the radio doing...
It's Miss Kamal to you, sweetheart.
That's right. Every time I see her, I had a patient years ago who lived up in the D.C. area and told me that allegedly, I'll be nice, allegedly Mrs. Kamal was run out of D.C. because she was...
Careful now, careful.
Yes, very careful. She was having relations with the Pages in the White House and got ran out of town.
I never heard that story.
Yeah, well, he lived there. He worked in he was an FBI guy. And
who's an FBI guy?
My patient.
Oh, your patient.
Yeah, he lived in D.C.
Well, I never heard that. Again, that's just a allegation by some mental patient in D.C.
Allegation, that's right. Hey, listen, FBI's, they're not well known to be, truthful and honest.
Right, this FBI guy probably had relations with gay Edgar Hoover, if you ask me.
Oh, he did. That's why I was seeing him for those issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every time I see him, I can't get that out of my mind. Mrs. Kamal, I love you to death, Neil. I listen to you every single freaking day. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, see, how do you like that?
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if coherent would have been the word there, but at least pretty interesting. Again, those are just spurious allegations, and we totally deny and decry, and although it sounds possible. Our poll yesterday, what is the most underrated rock group of all time? And we had a good response, only don't ever tell me I have bad taste in music again, please, okay? That seems impossible. Led by George. He's the bandwagon leader on that bull crap. Sure. Oh, Neil's got the worst taste in music. He knows nothing about music. Yeah, right.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't you what?
You've
always said that, and then the audience, of course, chimes right in. Oh, yeah, George, you're so cool, and you play all that crap that nobody ever heard of when you were on.
You had the musical taste of a 12-year-old
Memorial
girl.
Day. That was just unbelievable. A taste of what?
The musical taste of a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 12-year-old girls are really into R.E.M. and Aerosmith, right.
If they were 12 at the time.
I see. Now, let me just also say this to you. We didn't put R.E.M. or the Moody Blues on here, which is good. I thought we did, and they don't belong on here, so it must have been a very coherent moment for Josh not putting them on there, or else he screwed up. Was that by intent?
I thought we decided not to put R.E.M. on the poll.
That's what I remember.
Or the Moody Blues. Well, that was good, because they don't belong on here. They're not even close. They're both huge, bigger than life. Most underrated rock group of all time. We had how many votes? 1496, probably over 1,500 now, but I printed this baby out a little while ago. How many we got? One moment, please. 1,533. Well, some don't count. Rush, 128. I think some of our political mavens out there were a little bit confused. We were talking about Rush, the group, the Canadian. Not that Rush, okay? That's probably what they thought we were talking about. They love Rush. 128 votes, they win. Steely Dan, and we still are out of gas. That's what Gary Bettman said yesterday in the NHL negotiations. He kept saying, we're out of time, we're out of gas, what a whiny, wimpy. And by the way, unhappy New Year to you, too, okay? Unhappy Jew Year to you, Gary Bettman, you little twerp. No hockey. I try. How many weeks did I try?
About 30, man.
To tell these people, don't send Alan Cohen and the Panther organization your money. There isn't going to be a hockey season. Do they listen to me? No, they won't listen to old Neil, because what the hell do I know? I know nothing about hockey. What the hell would I know about that? There's Leafs TV. Oh, they're going to the commercial now. Damn it, bad timing. Steely Dan second with 116, who really suck. I mean, you talk about bad taste. Sublime 109, from the ridiculous to the sublime. The Kinks 96. Grand Funk Railroad moved. Now, where did they come from? 65. Huh?
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, out of left field. That's okay, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Holly 63, that was my original choice. Jethro Tull 61, another classic example of a really crappy taste in music. I don't want to go into it. Okay. The Doobie Brothers 58, Cream 50. I bet they're hanging out in that white room, you think?
No.
The Ramones, maybe a rubber room. The Ramones 48, Radiohead 46, Talking Heads 45, The Animals with Eric Burden 43. That Brit faxed that in, very demanding Brit, who was busy eating his spotted lizard. Smith's 42, Foreigner 41. Boy, Foreigner's really good. They're great.
Yes.
REO Speedwagon, who are not so great, who, as a matter of fact, sucked the big one, they had 38 votes, which just, and edged out the Guess Who. All I can say to that is,
oh, my God.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
When you think of really underrated groups that really are fantastic and made so much great music,
right.
Don't you think of the Guess Who and REO Speedwagon like in the same...
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Little Feat, which we apologize, we spelled it wrong with 2 E's instead of EA, 34. What a feat that was. King Crimson, 34. Mothers of Invention, 28. The Isley Brothers, 25. I'm glad to see they did well. Isley Brothers were great. County Crows, 21. Marshall Tucker Band, 21. The Pet Shop Boys. 19.
Yes.
Sweet. Had 19. And the Traveling Wilburys. That's why I dug up that ancient Wilburys thing.
Yes.
16. Well, we don't play that because it's like one of the lost bits.
Mm-hmm.
What? Well, no, it is because it was on one of those real early, maybe the very first Best of Neil discs. And so it's been kind of like languishing. XTC 16. We ought to play that, dear God. We got a lot of time today.
Yeah.
You got it there.
I do.
The Dave Clark 5, 14. I like the Dave Clark 5. They were just fine back in the day. Right? Joy Division 14. Crowded House 13. I don't understand why they didn't do better.
Obscure, because it's a name recognition.
They're not obscure.
People.
Crowded House is obscure?
They only had a couple of hits.
Get out of here.
I have the disc. I like them a lot, but that's, that's how they are.
You have to be Schmidt and me. Crowded House is obscure?
Big fan of the Finn Brothers, all the way back to Split Ends, but yeah, a lot of people, it's not for them.
The Turtles 12. NRBQ had a dozen. Rare Earth had 11. Or is that Rare Earth? The Spinners had only 11. Boy, you people don't know your music, man. Berlin 11. Supergrass 11. Marillion 10. 10cc 10. Wasn't it appropriate that 10cc? It would have been bad if they had like 12. Husker Du had 9. Yiskadoo and Yiskadash had 42. Bread, 7. David Gates and Bread. Tied with 2 other... I always think, when I think of David Gates and Bread and all the sensational, syrupy, but really good music that they made, I always think of Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers and Daddy Warhols in the same breath, because they had 7 also. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, for that idiot who's obsessed, who wants to do Frankie Lyman's body. The Zombies, 5. Band Onanaman had 5. That really just amazes me. I'm really happy to see that there are 4 other people out there. In fact, 5, because I didn't get to vote for that, with good taste. Crazy Horse, 5, and the Thompson Twins had 3 out of over 1,500 votes. Pretty good poll. And tomorrow we'll do a little, well, I don't want to say. If I say tomorrow, then they'll be calling in for that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Don't let that out.
Beaded Curtain today, which I almost forgot about since we had this surprise early start time today. Josie Moran. Is she kin to like Josie Wales and the Outlaw and all of that?
The Outlaw Josie Moran.
May 8th, 1978 birthday. Makes her 26, born in Menlo Park, California. I didn't know there was a Menlo Park, California. I thought Menlo Park was in New Jersey. Isn't that what it is? The Wizard of Menlo Park, wasn't that Thomas Edison?
The only one I heard of, but what do we know?
Well, there you go. There's a Menlo Park, California. Menlo Park is in New Jersey, isn't it, where Edison was born?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't. Don't know from Jersey.
Here's some of the films. She just completed The Aviator. She was in The Little Black Book. Van Helsing.
Blech.
Exactly. Swatters. The Mallory Effect. Notable TV guest appearances. 1994, Howard Stern playing herself. Twice. She did it twice.
Mm-hmm.
She played herself. I'm not saying a thing about that, okay? Back in the day I might have, but now I just bite my tongue and move right on. Letting discretion be the better part of valor, because we can't say Schmidt. Here's the poll today. I had another one earlier, which Eric could tell you, but changed my mind. Well, now, before I get to today's poll, because we got nothing but time today. Boy, this is like, I'm not used to this at all.
I know, what do we do?
We can just relax and sit back and take our time. We don't like all these other days when we're rushed trying to do a 4-hour show in about 2.5 hours. But that's okay.
Hello.
Oh, not again.
Oh, it's that thing again.
No, I can handle it. Okay.
Oh,
just
boy.
relax. Don't get all panicky, because I know what that is. What I'm going to do, just a minute.
Bitch better have my money.
Okay, now let me... Oh, you can't even hardly hear me now, right?
Right.
But you hear me some.
I hear you some.
Because I did the bypass on the processor there.
There you go, now you're back.
Because that's where the problem is.
Ooh.
Now, I'm hoping that didn't start up all over, because then I'll have to... Huh?
No.
No, I'm serious, because then I'll have to go in the back and, like, reset that thing and show me how to do that. No. Anyway, regarding the pool, here's the fact that says the monkeys do belong on the pool. Actually, if anyone in the rock and roll community has been underrated and not taken seriously, it was the Monkees. They did make a lot of good music in spite of your outrageous comments. They had a fight for the right to play in the recordings. They played in their third album and future recordings as well. They played their instruments at their concerts in the 60s. I've seen them in the later years, and Mickey Dolenz played the drums and guitar. Peter Dork, the banjo, bass, electric guitar and keyboards, and yes, Davy Jones, the tambourine and guitar as well. I wonder if he played a green tambourine or I heard he played a mean tambourine, Davy Jones. And he always looked like he never bathed. I don't know why. Of course, Mike Naismith and Torque were always known as the musicians of the group, and that is absolutely correct. But then, of course, it says, why would you have Frankie Lyman and Teenagers on the list? Don't blame me for that. That was that guy who is very insistent,
right,
or else he's going to kill himself. Today's poll. Now, see, that thing goes off. You know when that happens? When I get, like, too loud.
I see.
Now, I don't think it's going to happen again. Because I'm going to get way away from my... How's this? Does this sound okay?
Huh?
I'm going to get way away because when I do that, like, since this equalizer starts... Which I think the thing is going to burn out because the engineer told me that these things, he's surprised it lasted this long. So get ready with some cash down there because this equipment has been really fine in the studio. But I think I heard one of them whispering overnight.
I'm dying over here.
Okay, here's the poll today. Who is your... I don't think we really did this before. You're insisting that we did. We did the favorite Godfather.
We had a big argument
and
over...
if we did do this, well, it was a long time ago, right?
Okay.
Wasn't it?
It was a long time ago.
At least 3 weeks. Who is your all-time favorite movie character? I have 2. Howard Beale from Network. Everybody should know that.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
And Don Corleone from...
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
The Oddfather. All-time favorite movie character. Not the actor, not the, it should be pretty straightforward, right? Should be easy.
Right.
Easy
character.
But you never know with this crowd. 1027 at 560 QAM.
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and midday. And sports around the clock. 560 QAM.
Neil, all right, all you young whippersnappers out there, Bob Dole is in the house. Now, as you know, Bob Dole does not believe in negative campaigning and never have, never will. Oh, sure, the fact remains that John Kerry would rather see people die because his health care plan is all screwed up. But Bob Dole does not believe in negative campaigning and never have and never will. You probably already know that John Kerry has every worker in this country worried because they're going to lose their jobs and not have any food put on the table to feed their families because he's got a stupid, rotten economic plan. John Kerry is a fine man. He's a fine politician. I love him like a brother, but he knows plain damn well he can't run a country as well as George Bush. His education plan's going to make our children slower than molasses in winter. He's going to screw up the environment. He'll have Al-Qaeda running this country, and he'll put Osama bin Laden in charge of our national security. But having said all that, Bob Dole does not believe in negative campaigning and never have, never will.
Yeah, squeeze it a little bit tighter, Bob, in the pen, too. 1032 at 560 WQAM. Here's a fax from Brad, who's obviously just a little bit porked off with me. He says, you're way off base on Steely Dan. They're great. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong every now and then, says Brad. Well, back at you, Brad. Steely Dan is for pseuds. Music for pseudo-intellectuals. And I guess Brad must be gotten sucked into that whole deal. That's okay. Like you said, everybody's entitled.
Right. They had a couple of okay songs until they played them 5,000 times. You couldn't stand it.
But are we out of gas? I think if you Steely Dan, I think they are out of gas. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Now, let me just also say this. I don't want to, be a troublemaker, but you see, there's another thing with this whole Greg Reed, this insanity, this madness of radio inconsistency, which is the name of the game on QAM now. Oh, and Mo is going to be back on again. Mad Dog at 2, Mo Howard David at 4, the vanished Hank Goldberg, vanished and vanquished at 4. Then we got the Marlins on deck at 6:30, a very, very atrocious performance yesterday at the ballpark. They should have stayed in Chicago. A pair of losses. I said it would be a sweep, but I never dreamed that the Expos would do it. You realize how many games the Marlins have lost to Montreal this year? I would say...
About 30, man.
Too many. So they'll get another shot, 7:05 at the stadium tonight, Eddie K. Only 12,000 some odd combined. That was the total attendance for that doubleheader yesterday. And now they're 3.5 out of the wild card. But going into yesterday, they were only a couple of games out. They had been winning like almost every day, the Marlins, for quite a while. They were hot as a pistol. And only 12,000 people show up? Must have been the hurricane, the threat of the hurricane, huh?
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Well, we're pretty close to Mobile. But what I was starting to say is that the audience, the Neil Rogers audience, now probably is in the habit of tuning in about 10:30, 10:45. They have no idea what time the show starts. So on these rare days, like the Jew holidays and the 85 weeks vacation, all this other that Stern gets, and they play the best of tapes, and they end right around 10 o'clock. You follow what I'm saying?
No, see, that's where you're wrong. They tune in at 10, and they enjoy the last few minutes of the Howard Stern Show while waiting for you to come on.
No, they don't. If they're not Stern listeners, they aren't with us. They're just wherever the hell else. And then they keep, and hopefully they'll keep dialing and turning and Tylenol with us. But I don't know.
Not Stern listeners.
You'll need, no, we have a crossover there, but we got about 60-70% of the audience who doesn't listen to Stern, and those people have no idea what time the show starts. I just mentioned these things. I'm just thinking out loud, that's all, because nothing's ever going to change with Greg Reed, because he's gone over the edge. He's like, certifiable at this point. Crazier than a bedbug. If he had any brains, the humper would be back on. Well, you know something? Now, let me ask you, is Mo Howard David actually going to be out there if we had a change on that? Is Clarence there today?
Didn't you just get the next week's schedule faxed to you?
Next week's schedule? Wait a minute. I never looked at it.
Schedule. You should.
Oh, and it's got Mo Howard David on there again every day. So, in other words, the humper's not back next week either.
No.
Jesus. It's just unbelievable.
Jesus Christ.
The only good news about next week's schedule is Monday, the Marlins have a doubleheader with the Cubs starting at 1:05 at the ballpark. And at 12:30 is the pregame show. Oh! Marlins on Drek at 12:30 on Monday, so that's good news. But I would be more than happy to work the extra time till 2 on Monday if we could have the humper back. But don't look like he's going to be back next week either. So, like I said, we're just spastic. I'm embarrassed and humiliated by it because I've never worked on a radio station that was so just blatantly inconsistent. I mean, consistency is the name of the game in broadcasting, and we are just exactly the opposite. But at any rate, I'll take the money, thank you. Ralph Nader, here's the bad news, can stay on Florida's ballot. We had it on our website. Yesterday they took him off, but now he's back on again. On again, off again, in and out, in and out. Ralph Nader can stay on Florida's ballot at least till the end of the week when the state Supreme Court will make a final decision on his attempt for running as the Reform Party nominee. He ought to go to Reform School is where he ought to go. Reform School for Papa's old asswipes. The High Court's decision yesterday came about an hour after Circuit Judge P. Kevin Davey ordered that Nader be removed from the November ballot because the Reform Party is not a legitimate party under state law. The state Supreme Court will hear arguments on the issue tomorrow and said it would settle the controversy before the Saturday deadline for mailing absentee ballots overseas. We're on the ballot, we're just not going anywhere, said Teresa Amato, Nader's campaign manager. I wonder if she's kin to Joe D'Amato from Pompano Park. Democrats have sued to keep Nader off the ballot, arguing the Reform Party is no longer a legitimate national party and that Florida election laws requiring minor candidates to qualify by petition through a nominating convention weren't followed. Joe D'Amato at Pompano Park, I remember one very embarrassing episode involving our friend Fat Rich.
Yeah?
Because Joe D'Amato was holding his little daughter, infant daughter. Now, Joe happens to be an old cocker, but at any rate, he had this little girl. And Fat Rich went by and said, oh, what a cute, is that your granddaughter? What a cute little girl. No, it's my daughter. Kind of embarrassing, isn't it? That's Fat Rich for you, man. Always got the big mouth, man. Always sticking both feet in it. Democrats have sued to keep Nader off the ballot, arguing the Reform Party is no longer a legitimate national party and that Florida election laws requiring minor candidates to qualify by petition or through a nominating convention were not followed. The lawsuit is part of a national effort by Democrats to keep Nader off ballots in states where he could siphon votes off. See, and again, like I told George before the show this morning, I don't blame Ralph Nader. I blame those idiots out there, and some of them are listening to us right now, who voted for him last time and are planning to do it again. Now, the excuse last time was that, he wants to get enough votes so the Green Party qualifies to be on the ballot, and they're going to have all these candidates, and they're going to run for Congress.
Matching funds and all that.
Right. Well, guess what? Did it happen?
No.
Did he get enough votes to qualify?
No.
And so the Green Party said this time, bye-bye, Ralph, get lost. So what's the excuse this time? Because the Reform Party, of course, was Ross Perot, and then it was Pat Buchanan. You can't tell me that Ralph Nader is supporting that hooded freak, huh?
Who's a moderate now, by comparison.
Yeah, right. But nevertheless, still a hooded freak.
Sure.
Elmer says, please add Alex DeLarge.
Amen, Elmer. I think I'll vote for that.
6555321 from a Clockwork Orange on your poll. He also says Mo still sucks. And what was that thing hanging down there at that table at the prison, Alex?
That was Basil the Snake.
Oh, was it? Very impressive. At any rate, there's another one for the poll. We better get a whole bunch of them because all we got right now is just, we got that one on there. Don Corleone, 9, Howard Beale, Network 4. Your favorite character from a movie. I really don't think we did this.
We did.
Yeah, but it's got to be a long time ago.
Long enough.
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got a suggestion for the poll.
Yes, sir.
Mountain, Leslie West.
Who is it?
I'm sorry?
Mountain,
Leslie West.
Nalgas?
Nah, Mountain.
I can't understand a word he's saying. I'm glad that's not only me. I didn't say Leslie West. Yeah, he said Noslin, I think. She's a very nice young girl out there at our reception desk.
Character
of the station,
but yeah.
I was so pleased that Frico was porked off at me last time. I must have finally, after all these years, gotten through to him that I can't stand him. I hate him as much as everybody else. You freak. You idiot. You bastard, you. You bitch. Not bastard. I take that back. A bitch. Leave it to Greg Reed to put a hateful bitch at the reception desk answering the phone, meeting and greeting the public. That's how we put our worst foot forward for the public. It's the Greg Reed effing way. That's why he's got people surrounding him like the Water Nazi and little Maddie Bell. WQAM, hello.
Good morning. This is Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, for your survey, I wanted to think of Bluto from Animal House.
Okay.
So I added to your survey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. And Happy New Year.
Indeed.
Animal House, that's number one in this crowd, make no mistake about it. In between watching reruns of Jerry Springer and Maury Povich, they're watching reruns of Animal House over and over again. Speaking of the animals and Eric Burden, right?
Right.
That should be our slogan on QAM. All the animals all the time. And the monkeys, they should have been on the poll.
Yeah, you're right.
That was right. They would have had a lot of votes.
Yes.
I mean, there were no REO Speedwagon.
Oh, but then who is?
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Got one
for the poll.
Okay.
The Butcher from Gangs of New York.
Butcher from Gangs of New York.
Yep.
Okay, amigo.
Thank you, sir.
See ya. Got it? The Butcher from Gangs of New York.
We got it.
How about the Baker and the Candlestick Maker?
No, they weren't so good.
Oh. 2 Americans and Brit kidnapped. I'll intersperse because we got a whole pile of stuff. But at the same time, we want to get a lot of names on the poll and do it as soon as possible so that people can start voting, because if they don't see one that they like on there, they're going to sit back. They're going to lay out. Right? When in doubt, they'll lay out. Mm-hmm. 2 Americans and a Brit were seized by a group of kidnappers from their home in central Baghdad earlier today. An Iraqi Ministry of Interior spokesperson told CNN, the Certainly Not News Network. Earlier, the ministry said all 3 were Brit nationals. The U.S. Embassy had no immediate comment, but they're looking into it. The 3 were at their home, which also serves the offices of Al Khalid Services Company, in the upscale Al-Mansur district of central Baghdad. Their identities haven't been released. The facility did not have a guard posted at the time, a neighbor said, adding the abduction appeared to be carefully planned. She said there's usually 1 day guard at the residence, 1 night guard. No shots were fired, and they took them away. National Hockey League locks out the players like a big surprise. Gary Bettman, you make me sick. I wonder if they're showing that thing on there again on Leafs TV. No, they're not. They're showing some boring.
You know, I have a player, Brent Burns, who...
Yeah, well, we don't care. Oh, boy, that just tears your kishkis out. And then Bob Goodnow comes on there and says, well, you know, the players are only making like 40, 50 million and all this other crap. I say that, a plague on all of them. The hell with all of them. I'm sick and tired of especially the players. I can't handle it. Most of these guys couldn't spell their name if you stuck a gun up their ass. No shots, no saves, no goals, it says in this article in the Sun Sentinel today. The National Hockey League locked out its players yesterday, threatening to keep the sport off the ice for the entire 2004-2005 season and maybe even beyond. In an effort by management to gain massive economic change. They want a salary cap, and Bob Goodnow from the Players Union says, salary cap, that's all they want, salary cap, there's no chance, no effing way. And here we go. I just don't want to even talk about it. And I tried telling you, don't send them your money. Didn't I try telling that many, many times?
No, I never heard that.
They keep sending all these solicitation letters. They want your money. They want your money. It's going to be a great season. And we got a new coach, and we brought Mike Keenan back because he was so crappy the first time. This time we made him GM because we owe him a lot of money.
I heard the Panthers can't lose this season.
Yeah, they won't lose a game this season. Undefeated. Let's see. Here's Lena who says, now what did she scratch out on the bottom of this, I wonder?
I don't know.
Don't you always wonder when people scratch something out and make sure that you can't read whatever they wrote?
I think
Lena says, I enjoy listening to you. In fact, she scratched off at the top, too. It seems as though the American people have forgotten that Paul Wolfowitz had said that saving the Iraqi people from Saddam Hussein wasn't reason enough to warn the war, and that Bush said with certainty that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction. How could so many people support a president who lied and took the U.S. into a costly, unnecessary war in Iraq? George Bush must go, and the people need to wake up, understand that the poor will get poorer and the rich get richer if, God forbid, he wins in November.
Ew, God.
Says Lena. And, of course, Lena is absolutely correct. And thank God for Dan Rather and CBS is all I can say, because they don't care whether the documents were real or forged, because that broad, that old bag they had on last night, who was the secretary for that dead, what's his name, Jerry Kimmel? What was his name? Kimmelman. Detective Kimmelman from The Exorcist. DJ Cobb, remember that? Wasn't that his name?
I forgot.
Well, get with it. At any rate, she says, regardless of whether they were the original documents or not, what was in them was exactly correct. And Bush, he was AWOL, man. He was a drunk. He was I got a great story a little later. Long. It's on our website, but I'm going to read the whole thing. Why Bush left Texas from Russ Baker in The Nation. Oh, I love it. I'm getting ready to squeeze myself. I'm so excited about that story. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. Your all-time favorite movie character. That's our poll question today. We need about 300-400 more for the poll to make it a worthwhile list. WQAM, hello.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I got one for the poll.
Okay.
How about Dirty Harry?
Dirty Harry sounds like a wiener to me.
Okay.
Thanks, Billy. I love Carmel, California. I'll tell that. Even though it has nothing to do with Dirty Harry, it has to do with Clint Eastwood.
Dirty Harry did really well the last time we took this poll.
Play Misty for me. We did this poll before, huh?
We did.
It's a long time ago. I mean, if I forgot it. Huh?
You know who else did really well?
Who's that?
Darth Vader.
Oh, well, might as well put him on there right now, okay? I mean, the obvious ones, might as well put him on there already.
Obviously.
And there's some that aren't so obvious.
But I voted for Alex DeLarge. He won't do well.
Alex DeLarge. And, of course, we could put other Godfather characters on there like...
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green.
I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
Although I do like Jack Walsh pretty good.
Well, let me tell you something, my friend.
He was good. I saw a movie with him. Oh, what the hell was it?
Only
a really
one?
obscure movie with him several weeks ago. I forgot to mention it. Because I have never seen him in anything else, I don't think. And he played the same... I know what it was.
Well,
I was talking about it yesterday. The movie where the kid comes home from Vietnam and he's really dead. And he was like a zombie.
Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah, right. And he's surviving off the blood of other people, and he played the father. His acting was so bad. No wonder they stuck the horse's head in his bed. His acting was so bad in that movie, you couldn't believe it. It was like a grade Z movie. Somebody will know what that movie was. Really bad. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I've got a couple for you. How about Dorothy?
Yeah.
And Magnolia is one of my favorite movies. The braces guy, not the bartender, but the one that wanted the braces.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell his name was. We'll figure it out.
Thank you. Was Squeeze on your list yesterday?
No.
Squeeze should have been.
Well, we're squeezing it. Thank you.
It's funny you should say that, because you were playing a Squeeze song before the show.
Yes, I was. What,
You're not going to remember his name.
No, you're missing the point. What's the name of the actor from Laugh-In? I can't think of what his name is. I always forget his name. Wasn't that what he was from? Oh, no, it wasn't from Laugh-In. It was William H. Macy.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm losing it. Oh, no, why? Because I'm thinking of the other guy in the bar. That's what I'm thinking of, was from Laugh-In.
The other guy, yes. It was not Artie Johnson, but the other guy.
No, the other guy from Laugh-In. I can't think. At any rate, William H. Macy in Magnolia. We don't know what the name of the character was, so we'll just put William H. Macy.
Vote.
Huh?
You won't get a single vote if you don't know the name of the guy. If you don't know the name of the guy and you like the movie...
Are you saying that the people in the audience didn't like Magnolia? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying
is that what you're trying to
know who that is.
The song and the dance?
No one's going to know who
Josh,
that is.
didn't I tell you he didn't like that movie?
His name was Quiz Kid Donnie Smith.
There you go.
How do you know that? Did you look it up?
Of course you did.
Yeah, Quiz Kid Donnie Smith in Magnolia.
That's right.
That is amazing. That's absolutely correct. And he sat there at the bar telling all those boring stories about how he was the quiz kid and he was a genius and yada, yada, yada. And that's why he became a flaming queen and had the hots for the bartender. And I'll tell you one thing, you're right, we should have had the sequel, because I will guarantee you that if he ever got those braces...
I need closure on that storyline, damn it.
Oh, yeah, if he ever got those braces, he'd be in a tight embrace with that bartender.
I guess it's just as well. They
didn't
close that storyline.
I think we ought to play Supertramp all day.
Okay.
All day. Don't you?
Look like a perfect fit.
I think this weekend I'm going to watch that again. It's a long movie, but I'm obsessed with that movie. And when even Tom Cruise is good in it, then you know it had to be great.
Right. Well, he can act occasionally.
Once in a while. Rain Man was excellent.
Right.
And nothing not to like about that movie and his performance in that movie. It was great.
Right. Born on the 4th of July. Great performance.
Right. He was good in that. And
Magnolia,
I would say,
excellent performance.
Right. And that would be Don't Push It Too Far. That's about
it. That's it. I'm stopping there.
WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yep.
Hey, it's Kevin. How are you?
Great, Kevin.
Listen, I have two for your poll.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is Forrest Gump.
Oh, God.
You don't like them? Okay, how about George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life? And Howard Stern still sucks, okay?
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Bye.
Thanks for the good news. Wow. George Bailey. I wonder if he's kin to Bill Bailey from WAKY in Louisville.
Beetle Bailey.
And WLS. And Beetle Bailey. And Jack Bailey from Vernon Downs. And Jack Bailey from, what was the name of the show with the mink coats on 100 years ago, the quiz show?
I don't know.
Queen for a Day. Oh, come on. That wasn't the one with the mink coats. That was with Randy Merriman, the big payoff. 567. Boy, I tell you, my mind is sharp today.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Brian
it's all
really
about.
appreciates it.
Must have been that ice cream I had yesterday.
Oh, no.
Rocky Road. Favorite character, Andy Dufresne from the Shawshank Redemption. Boy, I better watch that, you know?
Okay.
Best character, Dirk Diggler.
Yeah, don't just let him say it that way.
Diggler from Boogie Nights.
Dirk Diggler.
From Adam the Macho Lifeguard. Yeah, macho my ass. Okay, Adam. Oh, yeah. If ever there's an oxymoron, it's macho lifeguard. Just ask that little screamer from Baywatch. The hell was her name? The French one.
Kelly Slater.
Kelly Slater was doing Pamela Anderson, thank you. That's why he looks so bad now. I think it must have rubbed off. Don't forget, look for the QAM van noon to 2 today at the Wendy's at 8100 Northwest 33rd Avenue in Hialeah. Stop by to win prizes and register to win a Honda Civic Hybrid from the South Florida Commuter Services. How come I can't say that? I have no idea. And 5 to 7 this afternoon, the van will also be out at Publix at 1305 North University Drive in Coral Springs. Look for the Rock Green light beer display.
Rock solid.
And spin the QM wheel for some really crappy, embarrassing prizes because we just are cheap as can be. Tight as a snare drum. So no Hank next week either, huh? Well, I'm starting to get really aggravated about this whole deal. And I guarantee you the audience ain't happy about it either. And the sponsors, see, if you're a sponsor buying a Hank Goldberg show and all of a sudden you wind up with that, you're thinking, well, this is kind of like a bait and swish, you know, wouldn't you say?
It's something.
And since that article by either I guess it was Barry Jackass, it must have been on Saturday, said that the Humper, starting October 1st, he's going to be able to talk to other stations. That doesn't sound too promising to me, does it? To you?
No.
I still think the whole thing is about the fact that Mo's got a year and a half left on his deal, and Hank's contract expires October 1. And the Beasleys are too damn cheap to pay Mo off at a year and a half, so they'll dispense with a Humper, and they'll send him across the street, and he'll bury their ass in the afternoon, and then they'll keep Mo on there, and he'll continue doing his...
Absolutely.
Oh, God. We are doomed, man. Just like Roby Young said in that phone booth, we are doomed.
What a prophet.
Yeah. Nothing good happens in a phone booth, okay? Either Dustin Hoffman farts in it or Roby Young makes some kind of a wild, hysterical message in it. WQAM, hello.
Hi, can I speak to Neil?
Speaking.
Hi, Neil. How about Axel Foley for Beverly Hills Cop?
Axel what?
Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop. You got it, pal. Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Isn't that your favorite?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Axel Foley. Yeah. 5, 6. Hey, listen, we're asking them, okay?
I know.
We're asking.
We're happy to put it on there with great glee.
These people, this crowd. Who is your all-time favorite movie character? Not actor, not actress, not character.
At least he didn't say Axl Rose.
How come you didn't put Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz on here?
I think Josh missed it when he said that.
He don't know. He didn't even know who Dorothy was. He thought they were talking about Dorothy Kilgallen.
Now, did Dorothy have a last name in that movie?
No, she doesn't need a last name.
I'm just curious. Not to put it on the poll.
I don't know. How many years since I've seen The Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. Do you watch it every week?
Long before you were born.
All those flying monkeys?
51 votes. Don Corleone, The Godfather, 22. How do you like that, man? Of course, this is a very Godfather.
Thank you, Josh. It's Dorothy Gale.
What's the matter with you? I thought your brain was going soft. Yeah. That aside?
Yeah.
Let me say that I swear on the soul of my grandchildren that I will not be the one to break the peace we've made here today.
Okay. Rest in peace, Marlon.
Yes, indeed.
Don Corleone, 25. Dirty Harry, 7. Bluto from Animal House, 7. Ace Ventura, I didn't even know we had that one from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, 6.
Indeed.
Pet Defective. Howard Beale from Networks got 6. Alex DeLarge from Clockwork Orange had 4. DeFarge, large. Darth Vader, Star Wars, has 1. Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York, 1. And no votes yet for the other ones, including Forrest Take a Dump. Quiz Kid Donnie Smith and Magnolia. Yeah, who the hell was the other? I'm going to have to look it up.
Boca Brian should know. How come he's not on
I don't want Boca Brian's help on this, okay? Leave him alone. He might be doing something constructive for the show. Let's see. Maddie DeSigati. Man on the Roof. I'll find it for you here only. Mad Max.
Yes. Oh, hey, perfect.
Mad Max from
Mad Max on
Hallandale, right.
Mad Max.
From La Mer. What am I looking for? Oh, Magnolia. The Magic of Lassie. Boy, I missed that one. Damn it. I better go out and get that this weekend. Magnolia. Okay, Tom Cruise. Julianne Moore. She was great. I love her. Jason Robards. Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's great. William H. Macy. Melinda Dillon. Luis Guzman. Philip Baker Hall. Alfred Molina. Michael Henry Gibson.
There you go.
Why can't I remember his name? I don't know why. I remember Ruth Buzzy.
Yeah, well, I mean, how can you forget her?
And Joanne Flug.
Yeah, and Goldie Hawn.
Right. from laughing. Now, how do you know laughing? That's long before your time.
No, it was a little child sitting on a rug watching laughing. Sure.
Gary Owens?
Right.
See, that's what the FCC would like radio to be. Like Gary Owens, like the character he played in Laughing with his hand over the ear and intoning for the world and seeing how impressive we can be. He asswipes you. 10:56. Oh, and Joyce said that she's working on it. Asswipe.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
She fakes orgasms. I fake foreplay.
FPL is ready to answer your questions. Here is FPL spokesman Geldy Kilowatt.
I can assure you we're doing everything we can.
What's the reason you turned the power off before the storm hit?
It was a precautionary measure. You over there.
Why is there parts of Palm Beach County still without power?
We're waiting for the wind to be less than 35 miles per hour or less than that, like no wind.
But the storm's gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got it scared. But power's been restored to Worth Avenue. It was only out for 10 minutes. That's because those people are much better than all of you. They don't even gotta make even. Other than that, I can assure you, we are doing everything we can. And we got thousands of truck stations on the border of Alabama with banjos on their puppets.
Why is that?
What good will that do?
I defaulted to my emergency operations manager. Hey, Mo! Wake up!
I can assure you, we're doing everything we can. Can I go home now?
I'd like to close this press conference by announcing our new slogan we borrowed from the post office. Through sunshine, and that's about it.
It's 11:02 at 560 WQAM. I'm just looking at our website. I see that Eric must have been snoozing a little bit because we still have last night's. I thought that maybe the Hurricane Center made a mistake, but they don't make mistakes. Just in the tracking, they make mistakes badly.
Mm-hmm.
But it says Tropical Storm Jeanne, and then I look at that. It's 11 p.m. last night. The new deal is out. The 11 a.m. advisory from the Hurricane Center, and it does say Hurricane Jeanne. So let's get that right, Eric. We don't want to be pushy or anything like that, but get it right already, Fatso. And it's not any closer now. In fact, it's a little further east to track than it was before. But if you want to panic, go right ahead because we have a lot of practice the last few weeks. At 11 o'clock this morning, government of the Bahamas issued a hurricane warning for the southeastern Bahamas, including the Acklins, Crooked Island, the Inaguas, Mayaguana, and the Ragged Islands, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. At 11 o'clock this morning, it just repeats the same thing. Hurricane watch for the central Bahamas, including Cat Island, the Exumas, Long Island, Rum Cay, San Salvador. Hurricane warning remains in effect for the La República Dominicana from Puerto Plata to Isla Sauna. Haiti and all this other stuff, or they can't hear us anyway. Hurricane watch remains in effect along the northern coast of the Dominican Republic, west of Puerto Plata, westward to Monte Cristo. And I still want one of them sandwiches. And along the southern coast of the Dominican Republic from Isla Sauna, westward to Santo Domingo. At 11 o'clock, the center of Hurricane Jeanne was located near latitude 18.8 north, longitude 68.7 west, or about 80 miles east-northeast of Santo Domingo in La República Dominicana. It's moving just north of due west, near 7 miles an hour, thank the Lord, and a west-northwest motion expected over the next 24 hours. On the forecast track, the center of Jeanne is expected to remain near or just inland of the northern coast of the Dominican Republic for much of the next 24 hours. Maximum sustained winds near 80 miles an hour with higher gusts, and the central pressure is 986 millibars. Not that impressive, wouldn't you say?
Not that
kind of like a girly hurricane after the other stuff we've been going through. Oh, and you'll be pleased to know that New Orleans is still there and Rick Sanchez is getting blown away in Mobile. Here's two more for the poll, two obvious ones.
You're taking this very personal.
I got two more for your poll. Oh, wait a minute. How about Santino? Do we have Michael on here? I don't know if we have anything with Michael.
We have to. Oh, here it is.
I know it was you, Fredo.
Oh, yeah.
You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
And I don't want anything to happen to him while his mother is still alive.
Right.
Till he goes fishing and says a few Hail Marys. Goes to show you, if you say enough Hail Marys, Michael Corleone and Hannibal Lecter. Two very good ones. Thank you, Steve. Excellent choices.
Apparently you're having the same thing with the your pages reloading an old thing. Again, you got to clear your cache or something because everybody else is seeing the...
I don't care. I already checked it on the Hurricane Center on the NOAA thing. Okay?
Let you know, it's correct on the website.
When I want to know what's happening on the Ark, I take a look at NOAA. And don't get all bent out of shape, Eric. Just relax, okay? Eat a couple more Monte Cristo sandwiches and just calm down. Oh, Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther. Peter Sellers. And some of his greatest roles, although he had some other good ones. James Bond. Now, let's see. Can't make up my mind between Randall McMurphy, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Got to have that on there.
And it's on.
Or James Bond.
Nick Murphy.
From all of those
Stop 30, man.
James Bond movies. Of course, we could find out. Now, see, there's a problem there. You do understand what the problem with the James Bond thing is?
That's why we had the argument before.
Is it?
James
because
Bond is
we
the
don't
character.
know which James Bond they're talking about. That would be like saying,
right.
Oh, I'll give you another one.
Mm-hmm.
Sherlock Holmes.
Right. See, the breakdown that we had was over the definition of the word character. There's only one character, but many portrayals of the same character.
Yeah,
so
yes.
Right. So it's portrayals is the word, but only one James Bond, only one Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Okay, and of
so
course,
the
in my mind, since I'm the one
right.
that's making the poll, we're talking about the definitive one because it was only Razzle Bathbone was the definitive Sherlock Holmes. All these other fakers.
Right,
Oh,
so
brother.
you name
like
one
Peter
of his
Cushing.
movies, yeah, like the Voice of Terror.
Right. And James Bond. Well, James Bond could be either one, you know.
Either one, whatever. Just James Bond, they know that they know.
Okay. Whatever you say. Rory Breaker from Lockstock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Let's not get too obscure now.
Well, that's what it says here.
We'll put it on there.
Lock, Stock, and Bagels. And
Oh,
Alonzo
it was a
Harris,
good movie.
Denzel's bad guy character in Training Day. Alonzo Harris from Training Day. Got it?
We got it.
And here's one they loved, E.T. Oh, ain't that cute? Makes me want to puke.
Good
567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. Your favorite all-time movie character. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how about Sergeant Holka from the movie Stripes?
Okay.
Yeah, you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Sergeant Holka's big toe.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just calm down. How about Phil Silvers? WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Clark Griswold from Vacation.
Clark Griswold.
Griswold.
Griswold from Vacation. Didn't see
Right.
that.
And also Terminator.
Okay, thanks. Didn't see that. Did I miss something?
Vacation?
Didn't see it.
It was all right in its day.
I'll get it
Beverly
this weekend.
D'Angelo, you could see her
No.
boobs in that movie.
Don't care. WQAM, hello.
I do.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got to say George is doing a great job. Did a great job over the summer.
Fantastic job. Unappreciated by Greg Reed, who's an axe murderer. Yes, go ahead.
And thank you for the tease that you might be extending your contract.
Oh, yeah, especially when I'm seeing this Humper stuff. I'm thinking, I'm not so sure about that.
Oh,
The
please
way they're
don't even
screwing over
think
these
about
people
it.
on this radio. How do you like the way they're screwing over the people on this station, man? Everything is like up in the air. I can't get any answers from anybody about anything. And this man needs mental help, this Greg Reed. He's an impediment to all of our lives.
It's horrible. I tune in at 10 to try and listen to you. Stern is impossible. You know, the way they cut him out.
That's
and
what Perry Como said. He's impossible.
But I'd like to add to your poll, Nurse
Yes, sir.
Ratchet.
Nurse Ratchet and Cuckoo's Nest. You got him on.
I'm married. You understand?
Have a great day, Pally. I love when he was just choking her in her eyes. Her eyes were like, just like Marty Feldman eyes, like Barbara Bush. They were popping right out of her head.
She was a great character. If she didn't scare you on sight the first time you saw that movie.
Louise Fletcher, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
But she made your blood run cold from the moment you saw her.
Mm-hmm.
I want my cigarettes, Miss Ratchet.
He was good, too. We might want to put him on there. What was his name? Mr. Cheswick.
Well, since we're doing characters, we don't have to.
Yeah, Cheswick from a Cuckoo's Nest. How about the Chief? Juicy Fruit? Airplanes passed dangerously close to each other in at least 5 instances after a computer failure knocked out radio contact between pilots and air traffic controllers across the West yesterday. 2 flights during the outage on Tuesday were almost near mid-air collisions, said Harnid Ghaffari, local president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. I'm a little nervous about that. We got a guy who's the local president of the air traffic controllers whose name is Hamid Ghaffari. Uh-oh. 3 workers filed injury claims saying they were traumatized by seeing flights veer toward one another on radar without being able to do anything. FAA representatives did not immediately respond to repeated calls for comment on Ghaffari's remarks, or is that Ghaffari? Airport operations were back to normal yesterday following the radio failure at the FAA Center at Palm Bay, north of L.A. On Tuesday, hundreds of flights were grounded for up to about 3 hours at airports in the L.A. region, Northern California, and Nevada. They had several near misses is what they had. Well, it makes it more exciting, I guess, huh? When you look out the window and, wow, look how close that thing is. You can almost reach out there and touch the wing. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about Tarzan and Pee Wee Herman?
Pee Wee Herman is a character?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. He is a character?
He's a character. That's his character name. His real name's Paul Rubens, as you know. He created the character Pee Wee Herman so that he could be in movies and the show.
Yeah, but he's a guy, even though that's his...
Right.
Okay, whatever you say. Tarzan, Ron Ely, he was Jewish. Boy. Why is it that I don't like him? There's something about him. I don't remember what it was.
Because he's ugly, he can't act. Other than that,
didn't he do some bad infomercials or something like that?
Everything that he did was bad.
Bad. He'd be bad. Not as bad as Michael Jackson, but he was bad. And Pee Wee Herman, the character,
yeah, we know. He made movies. Pee Wee's big adventure.
He did make movies?
2.
I thought he was just a TV geek.
No, the movies were actually okay.
12 minutes after 11 at 560 WQM. It is one of those times when a lot of you might need help fast because of all this hurricane stuff we've been going through. Thankfully, Dial-A-Mattress delivers the same day you call them all across South Florida. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the deepest and widest selection of bedding, all available for same-day delivery. Call 1-800-MATTRESS right now for factory direct prices and immediate delivery, and you still pick that 2-hour window to fit your schedule when you want them to show up, and guess what? They do. Dial-A-Mattress is on time 99.7% of the time. Dial-A-Mattress, they're ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the complete line of Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, and even Stearns and Bananas Foster, too. I wonder if I'd like Bananas Foster better than a Monte Cristo sandwich. I guess maybe I'll try them both. Huh?
Side by each?
Everyone here is called 1-800-MATTRESS. I've been calling them for years, and you ought to be doing the same. You can go to your bedding and department stores, get ripped off, waste a lot of time and gas, and work up a sweat, or just sit there on your ass and make that one easy call for the best mattress deal all the way around. Log on to their website, mattress.com, or just pick up that phone, make that one simple call at 1-800-MATTRESS. 1-800-MATTRES.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?
No.
All right.
Bye-bye, tell me bye-bye. Bye-bye, tell me bye-bye. Now you're the voice of the Satan Panthers. For as long as the fans can stand you, we are like all in your no one around here is gonna miss you. You got a market little doo-doo out of you. For no clear lie, tell me bye-bye. Lie, tell me bye-bye.
11:17. I don't see no Sherlock Holmes on that poll, do you?
No, but I could be wrong.
Do you see James Bond?
Look again. Well, it's, you can only type so fast.
Come on, let's get with it there, Josh, whatever your name is. Here you go. The character Peter Sellers played opposite Shirley MacLaine in Being There. That was absolutely...
Incredible.
You're right.
His name was Chance.
Right, that's right.
But they were calling him Chauncey Gardner.
Right.
But his real name was Chance.
Yeah, but we don't care about his real name. Chauncey Gardner in Being There. That's the name you want. That's what people know. Cool Hand Luke, as played by Paul Newman.
Indeed.
Raymond, Rain Man, as played by Dustin Hoffman. Got some good ones here. Tony Montana from Scarface. And Trent Walker, a.k.a. played by Vince Vaughn, Swingers. And Banky Edwards, Jason Lee in Chasing Amy. Got those?
No, I'll give Josh the stack of faxes.
Hey,
They'll
give
be
him
on
a
in
stack
an
of
hour.
faxes, and he can peruse and take his time, and he can also look up to see who the... Oh, no, you got it already, though. Chauncey Gardner.
Yes.
See, now that you say it, it's so easy, huh? Now that you say it. 5670560. We'll have a zillion, probably 1,000.
About 30, man.
30,000 names of characters on here. Right?
Yes.
Don Corleone, 836. Well, he's handed Josh the thing. You just slipped it right through the window, or you tied it to a rock and thrown it through the window. Because that's the way we generally feel about the way things are going at QM these days. And like I said, try to get an answer, and no chance. And I bet you that little fake Jew Clarence ain't in there today either. Have you seen him?
No, not today.
No, of course not. It's Rosh Hashanah, baby. It's a Jew holiday. Yeah. I bet you a lot of these punks haven't been in shul since their bar mitzvah, but now all of a sudden, it's another excuse to screw off today, okay? In fact, I'm surprised that professional Jew, Roberta Grieper, was there today. That is a shocker. At least one thing we'll say for that putz, and I can't say too much, but at least he's not putting on some phony act about he can't be there because it's a Jew holiday.
I think he's saving his holiday for Purim.
No, seriously. Nice going there, Roberta Grieper, okay? One of these people that isn't screwing off. I mean, I could have said, I'm not working on Rosh Hashanah. I'm Jewish. What?
No, Robert does not miss days of work.
Unfortunately. We're hoping he'd miss about like 600-700 for a while, but no, I tipped my hat to him if I wore one. I tipped my yarmulke to you, Robert. You right-wing, self-hating putz. WQAM, hello.
Is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Eric, first-time caller. I got two questions, one for the poll and one question.
Okay.
Best character ever in the movie is Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs.
Mr. what?
Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs, Steve Buscemi.
Okay. Yeah.
That's, he's the best in any movie by far.
Never saw it. I keep debating whether I should see that, and every time I ask George, he said, don't do it, so I'm not going to see it.
You won't like it.
Okay.
No, that movie rules.
All right.
But where's that remote at? You said it was in Coral Springs.
The thing in Coral Springs is at 1305 North University Drive at the Publix, 5 to 7 this afternoon.
1305?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, see you there, pal. Or I won't, but somebody will. Somebody from QAM, which of course means probably Frank or Miguel or one of those guys.
Probably Frank.
Probably Frank, whoever he is. Ed in Fort Lauderdale, whoever he is, says, I can't listen to Stern. I listen to Joe Rose in the mornings. By the way, Joe Rose is on the ticket, ESPN 790 AM, and doing a fine job. Good man. Got screwed over badly and lied to profusely and strung along by Greg Reed. I'm serious. The stuff that's gone on the last several months, I mean, everything that happened before it, there was plenty of crap, but he's just gone so far over the edge in trying to undo the crap that he created that it's just like he's like a mad professor. It's like giving like a nuclear weapon to a 5-year-old kid. I mean, just incredible the way he's just destroying lives. And, of course, a lot of these people, like if he screws over the humper and Goldberg doesn't wind up coming back, well, I don't think he's coming back. And you want to know why?
No, I don't want to know
Because
why.
I guess his deal ends October 1. Am I correct in assuming that? I thought it was November, but I guess his contract ends October 1?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, they would have to rewrite a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think the chances are of him coming back with Greg Reed after the screwing over he's gotten here recently and several times before when he can go across the street and probably get some big bucks, huh? He's got his ESPN thing. He was on ABC on that racing day, did a hell of a job. I just don't understand what this man is doing. He is screwing everybody. Even Ron Jeremy never had action like this. So anyway, this Ed says he's not listening. He listened to Joe. For today's poll, from the movie Renaissance Man, Bill Rago. Got it?
We got it.
Good. I never realized, well, I mean, obviously there's 80 billion characters that everybody likes. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Well, good. That's we got a long show today. We got plenty of time to put them all on here. We got 166 votes already, which isn't a big deal, but we got 166 votes. Don Corleone, 39. I think it's going to be tough to beat the Don.
Absolutely.
We hit him with 5 shots. And he's still alive. He was good, too, I'll tell you.
Yep.
Solozzo.
Oh, he was great.
Dirty Harry, 24. Bluto from Animal House, 18. Ace Ventura from Pet Detective, 13. Howard Beale from Network, 10. I'd be remiss every time if I mentioned them I didn't.
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
Darth Vader, 9. Alex DeLarge, Clockwork Orange, 8. Inspector Clouseau, Pink Panther, 7. Andy Dufresne from The Shawshank Redemption 6. Haven't seen it yet.
You want to say it right again, Josh?
It's Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne. I'm not into French, okay?
That's not what I heard.
Yeah. Although I understand that Screwad's got this French tickler that somebody left here.
Roy!
At any rate, now where the hell was that?
It tickles her fancy.
Dufresne. Refrain from Dufresne, okay? Randall McMurphy from Cuckoo's Nest 5. We called him Randy. Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs 5. Forrest Dump 5. Life is like a box of crap, man, is what it is when you work for Greg Reed. Michael Corleone 4. Mad Max Road Warrior 4. Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz 3. Josh Beckett liked that movie. Nurse Ratched from Cuckoo's Nest 2. Buffalo Bill Silence of the Lambs 2. George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life 2. Come on. That is such a cornball piece of crap. I mean, Jimmy Stewart was okay in his own corny way, but come on. George Bailey. Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York's got a pair. Sherlock Holmes has one. I bet you Watson saw it. The Terminator's got one. Clark Griswold from Vacation's got one. Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop has got one, and none yet for any of these others, including Raymond from Rain Man. How is that possible? Well, we just put some of these on there, right?
Yeah. That's a good
And Quiz Kid Donnie Smith from Magnolia. It's not even worth looking it up, basically. He don't have any. All the characters were great in that movie, right?
Yeah, they were.
They were really sensational. But William H. Macy is so fantastic. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Wireless and Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
All right. How about Jack Torrance from The Shining? All work, no play.
Somebody'd have to name that right.
Mm-hmm. You got that one already?
No, we do now, though.
All right, excellent.
Thanks, pal, and have a great day. Here's Johnny. I think he's a crazy person, you know, when you come right down to it.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
That would explain a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like him a lot, but I just think he's a crazy person, so I don't think he has to do a lot of acting.
I think it goes hand in hand.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is Gnarly Charlie gay?
WQAM, hello.
Yes, I'd like to suggest something for the poll, please.
Yes, sir.
How about Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times? It's a classic.
Oh, okay.
I'm so wasted.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
See you. You got it down now?
Yes, we do. Jeff
Well,
Spicoli.
I wanted to make sure because we've got 80 million names on this. Like I said, how about every character from every movie? We'll put it on the poll.
Right. Just go to IMDb there, Josh.
Then take a few hours. It'll keep you off the street, keep you out of trouble, keep you out from getting blown away by the hurricane or anybody else. And it'll be great. Kill a day. We'll put the name of every character from every movie that was ever made.
Right. Everyone except for the man who wasn't there, because, you know.
Or how about Claude Rains and the Invisible Man?
Right. Thank you for saying Claude Rains this time.
And be careful who you bump into in the hall, because it could be Claude Rains or it might be the Humper. Okay.
I doubt it.
Speaking of invisible. Norman Bates in Psycho, as played by that screamer Tony Perkins.
Blaming.
She's dead, though. Please put Jeff the Dude Lebowski from the movie The Big Lebowski on the poll, and George keeps telling me, don't rent that movie, don't get it.
I never saw that, so I don't have any idea.
The Big Lewinsky.
Yeah,
Jeff the Dude Lebowski from The Big Lebowski. I don't know. Didn't we get mixed reviews? I think it was Beaner Boy kept telling me not to see that.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea.
How's Beaner Boy doing?
I don't know.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. That'd be a good poll to take. Who was the I don't know how you word it.
I don't know what you're
The Thing, Beaner Boy, which, of course, The Thing never officially started, even though the water Nazi was going to hire it.
It's all your fault.
The audience never saw that thing. Wasn't he? He was in the movie The Thing, wasn't he? I'm not so sure he had a thing when you come right down to it. Well, he might have had something, but I don't think it was the thing that we're thinking about.
It was a smoothie.
27 past 11 at 560 WQM. Right now, Armstrong Ford Homestead wants to clear their lots and sell off all remaining 04s. Here are just some of the great deals waiting on you as I speak. An 04 F-150 pickup, you pay just $1 over invoice. New 04 Explorers, you pay again just $1 over invoice. Rangers, Crown Vics, Tauruses, and Focuses all waiting for you at just $1 over invoice only at Armstrong Ford Homestead. Plus, Armstrong Ford offers more value to its loyal customers. When you buy a Ford from Armstrong Ford, you'll get their exclusive Tires and Batteries for Life program. That's right, tires and batteries for life. The value you'll get at Armstrong Ford doesn't stop there either, because right now they'll give you a free Florida Sun Pass with any vehicle you purchase there. If you're pressed for time, no problem, because Armstrong Ford knows your time is valuable, like putting up those shutters and things like that. And by the way, my shutters still aren't up. Call 305-247-5112. Shop right over the phone. They'll even deliver that new vehicle right to you at your home, at your orifice, at your massage parlor, wherever you're spending a lot of time. Armstrong Ford Homestead, locally owned and operated. They treat you just like family, and I guarantee I'll bet you Greg's life on it, and I'll even throw in clearance. You won't get a better deal on a Ford anywhere. No bait and switch, no phony deals, no BS, just great deals all the time. Armstrong Ford Homestead, they're located at 30725 South Dixie Highway, just 20 minutes south of the 836. So drive a little and save a lot on that new Ford at Armstrong Ford Homestead. Check them on the web if you like at ArmstrongCars.com.
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and midday. And sports around the clock. 560 QAM.
Push the button, Max.
This station presents Real American Heroes.
Real American hero.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Egghead Jeopardy contestant.
Mr. Egghead Jeopardy contestant.
You, sir, are imbued with the God-given gift to respond to questions that are actually answers, with answers that are actually questions.
And you get every single one right.
Yes, you've accumulated a vast fortune, Mr. Egghead Jeopardy contestant, with a head full of knowledge and a fistful of butter.
And you've made more money than her.
And you're a whole lot funnier than Alex.
But that's not really saying much.
I'll say. So the next time you think you're smart enough to be on that show, plop your brains on the couch and drop your jaw in salute to Mr. Egghead Jeopardy contestant, a real American hero.
Mr. Egghead Jeopardy contestant.
Sorry, form of a question, please.
26 till noon at 560 WQAM. What's your all-time favorite movie character? That's our poll question today. Tremendous response. People are just foaming at the mouth about it, right? How about Freddy Krueger, says Bob in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
From Nightmare on Elm Street, parts 1 through 600. What's wrong with Freddy Krueger, man?
Nothing. Never stole a freight train.
Exactly. 5670560. Let's see. I've got just too much crap. But I do want to get all the names on there, okay?
Yeah. And I want to hear that story you were talking about.
Every character in every movie that was ever made, even movies we hated. Because there are sometimes movies you don't like all that much, but some of the characters aren't too bad. You know what I mean?
You are correct.
Not too often, though.
Like Magnolia.
WQAM. What?
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
It's going to be hard to beat Peter Corleone, man, but I got a real good competition for him.
Okay.
And that's Hannibal Lecter. It's either three, Hannibal, Silence of the Lamb, or even Red Dragon. I mean, he's the ultimate character.
He's got 6.
I know he's already on there. See, the guy is so emotional about it, and you're like, you're pricking his balloon.
Hey, I'm going to tell Joyce to
puts the lotion in the basket.
Hey, by the way, Joyce, if you want to research asswipe, just look in the mirror, okay, honey? That's my best suggestion. Boy, is she amazing or what? Does she know her crap? WQAM, hello.
Yes, Hal from Space Odyssey.
Okay. Great. I love the dialogue, man.
Sure.
I wonder how long it took them to film, how many minutes it took to film that thing.
About 30, man.
I didn't have to rehearse their lines. I bet you even Bush did more lines than they had in that movie. Colonel Kilgore, Robert Duvall in Apocalypse Now. Robert Duvall, we love Robert Duvall in this show. I don't think we have any clips from him, though, do we?
Oh, we have to.
We do?
I'm just thinking.
No, I'm looking up.
We have people talking to him.
Huh?
Talking to
Let me
him.
tell you something, my friend.
Right, that was Jack Walsh talking to him. I'm going to make so much trouble for you.
Wait.
Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
No,
that's Clemenza.
Right.
Speaking of Clemenza.
Oh, Paul, he won't see him no more.
Poor Clemenza, he's always got to take a leak. That's what happens when you're fat. You eat and drink so much, always got to pull over off the road and take a leak. Oh, that was from Dave the Cop. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Well, that's the way it is when you're a Cardinal fan, Dave. They win every day. And if they lose once in a while, you get depressed. Preemptive paranoia, writes Maureen Dowd in the Times today. It's on our website. All this stuff is on our website. Here's how bad off the Democrats are. She says they're cowering behind closed doors, whispering that if it should ever turn out that Republicans are behind this, it would be so exquisitely Machiavellian, so beyond what Democrats are capable of, they should just fold and concede the election now before the Republicans have to go to the trouble of stealing it again. There's no evidence. It's just a preposterous paranoid fantasy at this point, but it speaks to the jitters of the Democrats that they're consumed with speculation about whether Karl Rove, the master of dirty tricks and surrogate sleaze, could have set up CBS in a diabolical preemptive strike to undermine damaging revelations about Bush 43's privileged status and vanishing act in the National Guard and his odd refusal to take his required physical when ordered. In this vast left-wing conspiracy theory, Mr. Rove takes real evidence on W's shirking and transfers it to documents doomed to be exposed as phony, thereby undermining the real goods, then funnels it through third parties to Dan Rather, Bush 41's nemesis on Iran-Contra, a perfect bank shot. The secretary for W's squadron commander in the Texas Guard told the Times that the information in the disputed memos is correct. It's just the memos that seem fake. It looks like someone may have read the originals and put that together, said a lucid 86-year-old Marion Carr Knox, who was flown up to New York yesterday by beleaguered CBS News executives. She told Mr. Rather that... Not again. Not again. We start with that again?
Ooh, there we go.
Oh, boy. Now, I may have to, like I said, during the break, go back there and shut that baby off. Now, why did that happen?
I don't know. Just one of those things. I think maybe it's popping up.
I think maybe the processor is going out.
Yeah?
The equalizer. Well, at any rate, if it does, I'll buy a new one. Because I'm sure not going to wait for them. She told Mr. Rather that her boss, Lieutenant Jerry Killian, wrote a Cover Your Back file, a personal journal, to keep a record about the politically connected Bush and his charge. She said the contents of that mirrored the CBS documents, but she said those documents were not on the right forms and contained Army terms rather than Air National Guard lingo. She confirmed that young Bush had disobeyed a direct order from Colonel Killian to take a physical. It was a big no-no not to follow orders, she said, adding that the Bush's above-the-rules attitude caused some snickers and resentment among fellow officers. Those who suspect Mr. Rove note that when he was Bill Clement's campaign strategist in an 86 governor's race in Texas, he was accused of bugging his own office to distract from a debate, according to James Moore and Wayne Slater, author of Bush's Brain. They said it turned the election because after that the Democrats couldn't get any attention. Was the same scenario playing out yesterday evening on CNN? After a 5-minute report on the CBS memo controversy, CNN spent about 30 seconds reporting that 2 more Marines had been killed in Iraq. House Republicans started clamoring for a congressional inquiry into the documents used by 60 Minutes, saying it might be an attempt to manipulate the election. Isn't that why the Democrats are scared? Isn't that what the Democrats are scared the Republicans are doing? These same Republicans never wanted investigations into missing WMD, why Congress passed a Medicare bill based on faulty figures, Abu Ghraib, or even whether those Swifty guys were lying for Pete's sake. The Democratic paranoia is a measure of the intimidation the West Wing is wielding in a race where John Kerry can't seem to take advantage of any of the Bush administration's increasingly calamitous blunders. The administration has been so dazzling in misleading the public with audacious, mendacious malarkey that the Democrats fear the Bushies are capable of any level of deceit. Iraq is a vision of hell. The Republicans act as if it's a model kitchen. The President and Vice President brag about liberating Iraqis and reassure us that they're stopping terrorist violence at its source and inspiring democracy in the region by bringing it to blood-drenched Iraq. But what they haven't mentioned is what they've known since July. Their rosy scenarios are as bogus as their WMD. That's when the President received a national intelligence estimate that spelled out a dark assessment of prospects for stability and governance in Iraq in the next 18 months. And as Douglas Gell wrote in today's Times, worst-case estimates include civil war or anarchy. Unlike the President, the young men and women trying to stay alive in the unraveling chaos of Iraq can't count on their daddies to get them out of the line of fire. Maureen Dowd in the Times today. Lying piece of crap, and the argument again has to be, well, are those documents the originals? Are they forgeries? But of course, like she says, all of the information in there was absolutely correct.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Yeah, there's that schedule for you. Pencil it in.
She's oily, soily, and old. Looks like the Quaker Oats guy. Smells from the body roll mold. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. Pulls of her eyes popped out. It happened when she realized she raised more criminal clout. Barbara Bush has 40,000 eyes. And she's nasty, old and crafty, and she raised more fights than Patsy. She's atrocious and takes umbrage to anyone who says they want Barbara Bush and Marty down tonight. He gave us George Bush and Jeb Bush. Not to mention Bill and Robin Bush. He'll be rich and fat and smell just like the maggot sauce on a big hat. Barbara Bush resembles Ernest Borgnine on a bad day with Marty Feldman.
13 to 11 at 560 WQAM. Remind me, don't talk too loud because then I'll blow this compressor thing here.
Don't blow it.
I think it's burning out. I
yeah,
think
of
it's
course
on the way
is.
out.
Yeah, it's coughing up blood.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Because the engineer who actually up here knows what he's doing and what he's talking about, he said he's surprised this one lasted this long because they run very hot and that they die, you know? They die.
Yep.
So the fact that it's acting up today after several days of seeming very just fine, not a good sign. And, of course, if it blows out, then I think you're going to be doing several shows. Now, he did tell me I could bypass the compressor, and I tried it before the show. Let's try it on the air and see how it sounds, okay?
All right.
Okay, I pressed the button there. How does that sound?
Weak. Turn your microphone up.
No, it is up.
No, that's it. That's all you got?
So I guess that's not going to probably be a good idea.
Well, we could, in a pinch, compensate. In other words, you just turn everything else down.
Right.
And we'll just
I mean, I have a little more
right.
level on the mic, but I just don't want to crank it all the way wide open.
All right.
And also, I'm thinking about these promos. There are many things just rumbling through my mind, you know, a cluttered mind.
Yeah.
And the promos that were running about Hank Goldberg and the Humper, even on that last rejoin there, and the Humper and the Mad Dog and the this one and that one, you know.
Hey, stupid!
What does that mean?
If they were going to change the lineup, do you think they would tell anyone before it actually happened?
Oh,
or let anyone get an inkling?
It's getting to the point where it's like exhausting for us, so you can imagine for the audience who are tuning in to hear the people that they like at the times when they expect them to be on and to be on at all, and it's like just total chaos. And then when you think of Greg's brilliant idea of, well, we're paying Neil for 4 hours, so how about if he just does like 4 hours after Stern gets done? That would be great. So here's the Mad Dog today from 2:45 till 4. I mean, just an absolute asinine creature crawling over the globe. Captain Quint, Robert Shaw, and Jaws. Okay?
Okay.
Jaws was good, but I realized that they're making a big simus about it again, but I don't know. It was good.
Yeah, there wasn't
I think
a
it was
lot
overrated.
to it. Yeah, I agree with you. It was just fine, but it wasn't all gangbusters.
Plus,
great.
Richard Dreyfuss just makes me nauseous ever since that Close Encounters of the Worst Kind.
Amen, brother.
That acting performance had to be damn near as good as Brad Pitt in What's in the Box?
So,
7.
You never even saw The Goodbye Girl?
No.
Oh, you'd go out and murder him if you did.
I don't like Richard Dreyfuss. I can't stand him.
Well, you would hate him hard.
Plus, he's just too Jewish, you know? He's like the Barbara Streisand of movies.
Never more so than in that movie.
Oh, she was in movies, too, and they were all bad, for Pete's sake. Butch Cassidy, somebody says.
Okay.
How about Hopalong Cassidy? No. See, I better not say those, because then he'll put them on there.
Right.
Spike Spiegel, Cowboy Bebop.
We got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Here's one that says, I just heard a soundbite on your show, which is ironic because I watched this movie last night. Another one for your poll is Jack Lemmon as Professor Fate from The Great Race, a 1965 Black Edwards film co-starring Tony Curtis and Natalie Wood. Speaking of Jaws, Natalie's out there with the sharks, too, as a matter of fact.
Jack Lemmon as Professor Fate?
That's what it says.
Well, it was Keenan Wynn.
They look alike.
I see.
Not. They sound alike. Not. Right. That's the clip they're talking about. And then you always have that big argument. Oh, it's not really from that movie. It's from something else.
I don't know who you're arguing with, but
no.
The caller. That caller always tells.
The caller always says you're wrong about that. It's not from that movie. Not me, because I didn't see either one of the ones you're talking about. Well, Jack Lemmon, Keenan Wynn. I always think of them in the same. Ed Wynn, Keenan Wynn, Jack Lemmon. How come nobody ever mentioned Jack Lemmon? Not for the poll today, but just in that movie about mass appeal. That was such a. If you despise religion and the Catholic Church and all of them the way that I do, that movie was so perfect.
He was great. He never did a bad thing, Jack Lemmon.
And Charles Durnan in there, too, Durning. Mm-hmm. He was Durning red in the face when he said both. Both. Men and women, both. As in, have you checked the children? No, there are movies that are underrated. Nobody, When a Stranger Calls, nobody will ever mention that as a movie they really like. It was good. Have you checked the children? He was good, too, the actor in that movie. The British...
I don't know who it is.
The lunatic.
Oh, that guy.
I know I've never seen him and Greg at the same time. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing? Is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Neil? Let me turn off my radio here. Mine on the street delivering mail. Tell your counterpart there that Keenan Wynn played Hezekiah in The Great Race, and Jack Lemmon played Professor Faith. But I always liked Jack D. Ripper, played by Sterling Hayden in what's that movie? Dr. Strangelove. Or how about Frank Booth?
Okay.
I love Frank Booth.
Okay, we'll put Frank Booth and Shirley Booth. Sounds good to me. Okay, thanks, Pally. So he says you're full of crap. Okay.
Well, I'm going to look it up.
No, I'm going to look it up. Now, what's the movie we're looking for?
The Great Race.
Okay, here's The Garden. Here's The Gray Owl. Here's Gremlins 2. Oh, Zach Gallagher.
Oh, it is Jack Lemmon. Josh looked it up and he said it was Jack Lemmon.
Boy, you really are slipping, mister. How about The Grapes of Wrath? Hyman Roth.
Is it possible we're thinking of different movies? The guy that says push the button Max is Keenan Wynn.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is in the movie. The guy with the car that does stuff.
Push the button, Max! That's Hezekiah. Now, what's the guy
that's Hezekiah. Okay,
which is that one?
So I got the character names.
I was just about to get to it, and then you said you had the whole thing resolved, and so I started to put the book away.
No,
The Great Sinner, The Great Santini with Robert Duvall.
So the characters' names are screwed up. It's the guy with the funky car that says push the button, and that's Keenan Wynn, whose name is Hezekiah.
How come The Great Race isn't in my book?
It's not a great book.
No, it is a great book. How is that possible? Could it be under the? Because all these others have the in front of them. They're under G.
Oh, I found one Frank Booth drop we can actually play.
Yeah.
That's it. It
Yeah,
was longer, but I had to cut it off.
I know. I had some other. I had that Jack Lemmon drop in also from Glenn Ross, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have to.
I know.
That a little bit before we put that back on the air, because Joyce will get very upset. We didn't like the bleep in there. It wasn't long enough, and we actually could hear what they were saying. The Great Race, Steve of Baghdad. This is really ponderous. It couldn't possibly be under the, could it? Huh? And why wouldn't that be in here? The Great Race. That lady.
IMDb has it though.
There's no sex like snow sex. Them. No, it isn't in here. Period. I have no idea why. We'll have to get my other book. Here's my other book. Oh God. Here's the one that weighs about 400 pounds. Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever.
Ain't that the British one?
No, that was the other one.
Oh, okay, good.
The time and space and that crap. Let's see. Grave of the Fireflies. What am I looking for? Great Adventure?
Great Race.
Great Balls of Fire. Starring Maddie Bell. Great Outdoors. The Great Race. A dastardly villain, a notable hero, and a spirited suffragette are among the competitors in an uproarious New York to Paris auto race circa 1908, complete with pie fights, saloon brawls, and a confrontation with a feisty polar bear, overly long and only sporadically funny. Starring Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood, Peter Falk, Keenan Wynn, and George McCready. Directed by Blake Edwards. There you go.
All right.
Now, that doesn't tell me anything.
The guy with the funky car that did stuff, like telescoping wheels and the cannon and all that, that's Keenan Wynn's car. He's the guy that said push the button, Max, because he told Max to push the button.
Push the button, Max!
Right, and then the car would do something crazy.
Yeah.
So it's
what's the
Hezekiah.
argument about?
Nothing. Apparently I got the character's name wrong.
Oh, you screwed up and you're just wasting a half an hour here trying to cover your ass.
Right.
What's your all-time favorite movie character? That's our poll today. Don Corleone, The Godfather, 49. Not going to catch Don Corleone. Dirty Harry, 29. Bluto and Animal House, 23. Ace Ventura, 16. Michael Corleone, 14. Inspector Clouseau, 14. Alex DeLarge, 11. Darth Vader, 10. Howard Beale in Network, 10. Forrest Gump, 9. Tony Montana, 8 in Scarface. Randall McMurphy in Cuckoo's Nest, 8. Mad Max in Road Warrior, 8. I hear he was played by Charlton Heston. Jeff Lebowski from The Big Lebowski, 7. Hannibal Lecter, 7. Andy Dufresne from The Shawshank Redemption, 7. James Bond, 5. I like Dufresne better. Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, 4. Clark Griswold, Vacation, 3. Buffalo Bill, 3. Gotta play something. One moment, please.
Okay.
Buffalo Bill.
Have my money.
No. Oh, yeah. Jeff Spicoli, too, from Fast Times.
Mr. Lecter.
Yeah. Raymond Babbitt, Rain Man 2, Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse 2, Nurse Ratched, Cuckoo's Nest 2, Terminator 2, Alonzo Harris, Training Day 2, Alex Foley, Beverly Hills Cop 2, George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life 2. Come on. Even Defoe never saw corn that tall. Bill the Butcher, Gangs in New York 2, and then one for Freddy Krueger, Bill Rago, Renaissance Man, Trent Walker, Swingers, Mr. Pink, Reservoir Dogs. Sherlock Holmes only has one vote, and then a bunch of other stuff. Norman Bates and Psycho don't have any. Jack Torrance, Here's Johnny, don't have any. Charlie Cheswick don't have any. You know when I think I set that thing off? When I was doing my Mr. Cheswick thing, I'd like pound it on the cigarette.
That's right.
So I'll just emote.
Don't pound it.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
This is Pope John Paul Lind, and if you ask me, the only thing more fun than playing grab ass with the Swiss guy is the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour. Oh.
There's a new poker show on TV that's sure to be of special interest. It's Political Poker Showdown.
Pair of jacks, John Kerry. Mission accomplished.
Oh, yeah, George W. Bush? I've got a royal straight flush full house with two of a kind with an ace kicker. Read 'em and weep.
Darn it, Kerry. You know I don't read.
Political Poker Showdown pits the candidates in a head-to-head test of skill.
I've got a pair of queens.
Yeah? Well, I'm opposed to gay marriage. Plus, I got a pair of Dick Cheneys.
Huh?
I mean a pair of kings. Oops.
This tournament won't be played again for another 4 years, when two new Caucasian Ivy League millionaires belly up to the table.
Hey, Bush, it's your turn to cut the cards.
I don't cut cards. I cut taxes.
Political Poker Showdown.
So how's that sound? I'm just trying to keep you on your toes.
All right.
12:02 at 560 WQAM. Don't forget, look for the QM van now to 2 at Wendy's. They're there right now, I bet. At 8100 West 33rd Avenue in Hialeah. Stop by to win prizes. Register to win a Honda Civic Hybrid from South Florida Commuter Services. And this afternoon, the QM van, 5 to 7 in the p.m., will be at the Publix at 1305 North University Drive, Coral Springs. Look for the rock-solid, rock green light beer display and spin the QM wheel for prizes. Now, let's see. Here's a fact from Chris, who just, favorite character, Inspector Clouseau, Peter Sellers. Already on there, Chris, doing just fine. How's he doing? 4th place. As a matter of fact, he's got about 20. And also, number 2, he says, why doesn't Neil like Randy Rhoads? When did I ever say I don't like Randy Rhoads? Unless he's talking about, do I like her show? No. I don't listen to her show, first of all. Number 2, she's a little too jappy for me, if you catch my drift. A little too shrill. A little too jappy. Yeah, that must be it. Must be a Jew thing. Especially on Rosh Hashanah, don't be doing that.
Happy New Year.
Here's a fact, and don't say it. It's such a, to me, disgusting, especially when it's from, like, other Jews who think that you share their... I'm not interested. To me, it's like 2004. I'm not interested in Jew years, Egyptian years, Venus, Mercury years.
Dog years.
Uranus years. Joe Pesci is Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas. Very, very good choice. Mm-hmm. Now, is there any Joe Pesci thing that we can... No, of course not.
I think we have any on hand. Do I use...
No, we can't play any
none of the... Yeah.
No.
Tourette's.
Let's see. Here's Mike in Melbourne says, future poll suggestion, what's your favorite Bush administration lie? Well, we don't have room for that many. And number 2, the arena deal for Broward County just keeps getting better and better. Taxpayers keep getting even more of a screwing with this NHL deal, says Mike in Melbourne. Hey, Mike, guess what? Nobody cares. I mean, I'll miss, seeing the Leafs play and Panthers, I mean, they just tore your guts out anyway, a team that only made the playoffs 3 times in the history of the franchise. And then, of course, it's like everything else Wayne did. Like with the baseball, Same thing with the hockey. Build me the arena. We're going to move to Nashville. We're going to move to Portland. We're going to move the team, pick up our hockey pucks and balls and move and yada, yada, yada. And then they build it in the arena. And then before nobody turns around and sells the team. Always leaves you holding the sack. That's Wayne. Because Wayne is all about one thing. You know what that is?
No, what?
Wayne. Speaking of Wayne, there's Bill Hummer.
This does not appear to be a hurricane at this point. It appears
in Mobile, Alabama, where I guess the worst is past. And, of course, they had Ricky Tiki Sanchez on only moments ago, who seems to be taking off more clothing each time they bring him on. Pretty soon he's going to be standing there stark naked, which is a frightening thought. CIA analysis holds bleak vision for Iraq's future. Speaking of Maureen Dowd's column, A classified national intelligence estimate prepared for President Bush in late July spells out a dark assessment of prospects for Iraq, government officials said yesterday. The estimate outlines 3 possibilities for Iraq through the end of next year, and the worst case is developments that could lead to civil war, officials said. The most favorable outcome is an Iraq whose political, economic, and security stability would remain tenuous. That's the best-case scenario. There's a significant amount of pessimism, said one government official who has read the document, which runs about 50 pages. The officials declined to discuss the document's key judgments, concise, carefully written statements of intelligence analysts' conclusions. The intelligence estimate, the first on Iraq since October of 2002, was prepared by the National Intelligence Council, approved by the National Foreign Intelligence Board under John McLaughlin, the CIA's acting director. As described by officials, the pessimistic tone of the new estimate stands in contrast to statements by Bush administration officials in recent days, including comments yesterday by White House spokesman Scott McClellan, who asserted that progress is being made in Iraq. At any rate, they're lying again. It's a nightmare. It's a disaster. Even Catch a Cup of Coffee Annan at the UN says, How come he shilled for so long? You think the price was right?
Or maybe he was scared?
Maybe they had a brother that they brought in with a kind of a funky beret from the old country.
Red ball on top?
From Borneo.
Red rubber ball in his mouth?
The United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan declared explicitly for the first time last night that the U.S.-led war on Iraq was illegal. Mr. Annan said the invasion was not sanctioned by the UN Security Council or in accordance with the UN's founding charter. In an interview with the BBC World Service broadcast last night, he was asked outright if the war was illegal. He replied, "Yes, if you wish." In other words, if I got to answer, yes. He then added unequivocally, "I've indicated it was not in conformity with the UN charter. From our point of view and the charter point of view, it was illegal." Mr. Annan now has kept a tactful silence until now, and his intervention at this point undermines the argument pushed by Tony Blair that the war was legitimized by Security Council resolutions. Mr. Annan also questioned whether it would be feasible on security grounds to go ahead with the first planned election in Iraq scheduled for January. You cannot have credible elections if the security conditions continue as they are right now, he said. They also the comments, as Mr. Blair is trying to put the controversy over the war behind him in the run-up to the conference season, a new parliamentary term in next year's probable general election. Did you see the guys who ran into Parliament in Britain yesterday?
No.
They were having a big debate on, guess what?
I don't know, gay marriage.
Fox hunting.
No.
And these 4 goofballs, probably PETA people or somebody like that, I don't know. They dressed in T-shirts and jeans, and that's that great British security, man. They just came running into Parliament. You should have seen the looks. The looks on some of those real stuffy Brits, man, like they were about ready to drop a big one right there in their seat.
Well, I hope they show it again.
And they had to drag them off. Little contretemps. Then, of course, we got the Batman guy who's probably still standing on the ledge now that he finally came down. Let me ask you this, seriously. Granted, it's all fantasy, but Captain Marvel had a cape, right?
Yes, he did.
He could fly.
The Shazam Captain Marvel.
He could fly.
Correct.
Superman had a cape.
Correct.
He could fly.
Right.
Now, why did Batman have a cape on? And I think his name was Robin. And, of course, at this point, just to revive his memory so you know that he's still alive, we're supposed to play, if I can ever get around to finding the damn thing here, we're supposed to play the Humper saying, "I'm a homo?" No, that's not it. The Humper saying,
"Come on."
Come on, Hank!
He was his ward, not his pedophile.
Oh, thank God. I thought they silenced him even on this show. 567-0560, pound 560 for Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. I guess maybe the equipment is okay. Maybe I just should not do that shouting.
Yeah, don't
it just doesn't react
bang
to
it
well.
anymore.
It likes it very civilized and polite, like here in the TO. Very low-key, don't get too agitated. Right. WQAM, hello.
Good afternoon. Sir. And by the way, it wasn't just fox hunting. It was fox hunting with dogs.
Right.
I mean, how ridiculous, man. The world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Hounds of the Baskervilles.
The hounds.
That's right. Anyway, somebody got ahead of me on the poll. I was going to suggest the guy that played in Clockwork Orange as the guy who's singing the little song.
Singing in the
rain. Yeah. But I think somebody got ahead of me on that.
Yeah. Right.
You posted an article on the website the other day, and people are probably going to have to go into the old stuff, but if they haven't read it, they really should.
The archives.
The archives. America, Right or Wrong. That's a great article.
Mm-hmm.
If people have not read that, they really need to read that and get the book when it comes out.
People ought to be reading all the articles on our website, each and every one.
You got it.
Which reminds me, I better go out today and get that Kitty Kelly book I forgot yesterday. I'm going to go out and
That
get
should be pretty good.
The Family.
Yep. Yeah, The Family.
Yeah. What does that say? Thanks a lot, Pally.
All right, dude.
Have a great day. Bill Murray as Carl Spackler in Caddyshack, says John in Columbia, South Carolina. I always knew something was a little off about John up there. Don't worry, John. This is a Caddyshack crowd.
Yeah, boy.
You know what a great poll would be one day?
I give up.
What's the worst thing that America has exported to the rest of the world? I'm thinking Jerry Springer is one of them.
That'll be a long list.
McDonald's, Coke, a cola. Gary says, could you please add Indiana Jones to your poll? No problem, Gary. You got it, man. You got it on the Jew holiday on Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year, by the way, to all you silly people who don't understand that New Year comes on January 1. We just can't get along, man. It's another reason to disband all these religions, because all it does is separate everybody from each other, okay? We're just all one big happy family is what we should be. But, no.
Let me ask you
everybody's got their own fairy tales.
So if you're a Jewish Chinaman, when do you celebrate New Year?
That's a good question. I guess after you finally catch the last rat in the kitchen.
Are rats kosher?
After you circumcise the last rat in the kitchen. I got a great article by Russ Baker in The Nation, Why Bush Left Texas, and it's long, and I'm going to read it after the break.
But
if it's very long, it might actually take me, which I rarely do this anymore, but I just have to do it. The Spirit of Christ compels me on Rosh Hashanah.
All right.
12 minutes past noon at QAM. Don't forget Mad Dog at 2, and then it's Mo. Mo. At 4, and then Marlins again tonight. Try to salvage a game against the Expos after yesterday's disastrous doubleheader defeat. You know, this is one of those times with the hurricanes and all this other hysteria going on that you might need some help fast. Thankfully, Dollar Mattress delivers the same day all across South Florida. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the deepest and widest selection of bedding, all available for same-day delivery. Call 1-800-MATTRESS right now for factory direct prices and immediate delivery. And don't forget, you still get to pick the date and time for delivery to fit your schedule. And Dollar Mattress has got a record that's unbeatable. They're on time 99.7% of the time. Dollar Mattress continues to be ranked the best in the world in customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the complete line of Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, and Stearns & Foster Hewitt. All the smart folks, and even some who aren't too bright, at least know enough to make that call. I've been doing it for years because it sure beats running around and getting ripped off at those bedding and department stores and helping them pay for the big overhead. Log on to their website, mattress.com, or if you need that new mattress real soon, just pick up that phone and call them right now, and they'll be knocking on your door before the day is out. Call 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively. QAM.
Absolutely.
Mr. Lecter, save me a piece. I'm disappointed you passed on Clarice. Still eating people right after you kill them. Not even leaving behind a tiny crumb. Lecter, finger licking. He claims that people taste just like chicken. If you see Hannibal on the streets, better honor you a dead meat.
Oh my God.
Mr. Lecter, I've got to ask, how do you eat things through that funky mask? Though it looks good, you can't move your jaw. The first cannibal to use the smelly straw. Lecter, I wish I saw you pay a visit up to Chappaqua. Eat the Clintons on your next spree. Just remember your Pepsi.
From 18560 WQAM. Bad news from Orlando.
What?
A Walt Disney World worker who was acquitted of charges he fondled a 13-year-old girl while dressed as Tigger has been suspended again, accused of shoving two people while in a Goofy costume.
Oh, no.
Their lawyer said the man was just goofing around because he was goofy. Maybe that explains why Greg Reed is, maybe on the weekends he's up in Orlando. Two photographers at Disney's Animal Kingdom said Michael Chartrand came up to them in his Goofy costume and shoved each of them in the chest, Orange County Sheriff's Captain Bernie Persha said yesterday. The photographers, a male and female whose names are not released, work for Kodak at the park. That's Eastman Kodak from Rochester, New York, where there's so many people out of work. Disney spokeswoman Jackie Polak, P-O-L-A-K. Okay, Jackie Polak said Chartrand was suspended August 30th.
About 30, man.
And would remain so indefinitely. He was also could face misdemeanor charges. Jeffrey Kaufman, Chartrand's attorney in the Tigger case, said new claims were bogus. Goofy is always playful, he told the Orlando Sentinel. Of course he was goofing around because he was goofy.
Yeah.
That's why Greg Reed acts like that, because he's goofy.
I want to dress up.
Beg your pardon?
I said I want to dress up as a character named Grabby.
Oh, that's Matty Bell. Now, Peter says for the poll, how about Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket? You got it?
Sure.
Okay. Why Bush Left Texas by Russ Baker in the Nation. This is going to take a long time, and just sit back and relax.
I'm going to get a fresh soda.
Growing evidence suggests that George W. Bush abruptly left his Texas Air National Guard unit in 1972 for substantive reasons pertaining to his inability to continue piloting a fighter jet. A month-long investigation, which includes examination of hundreds of government-released documents, interviews with former Guard members and officials, military experts, and Bush associates, points toward the conclusion that Bush's personal behavior was causing alarm among his superior officers and would ultimately lead to his fleeing the state to avoid a physical exam he might have had difficulty passing. His failure to complete a physical exam became the official reason for his subsequent suspension from flying status. The central issue, whether Bush did or did not complete his duty, and if not, why, has in recent days been obscured by a raging sideshow, a debate over the accuracy of documents aired on CBS's 60 Minutes. Last week, CBS News reported on newly unearthed memos purportedly prepared by Bush's now-deceased commanding officer. In those documents, the officer, Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Killian, appeared to be establishing for the record events occurring at the time that Bush abruptly left his Texas Air National Guard unit in May of '72. Among these, that Bush had failed to meet unspecified guard standards and refused a direct order to take a physical exam, and that pressure was being applied on Killian and his superiors to whitewash whatever troubling circumstances Bush was in. Questions have been raised about the authenticity of those memos, but the criticism of them appears at this time speculative and inconclusive, while their substance is consistent with the growing body of documentation and analyzation. If it is demonstrated that profound behavioral problems marred Bush's wartime performance and even cut short his service, it could seriously challenge Bush's essential appeal as a military steward and guardian of societal values. It could also explain the incomplete, contradictory, and shifting explanations provided by the Bush camp for the president's striking invisibility from the military during the final 2 years of his 6-year military obligation, and it would explain the savagery and rapidity of the attack on the CBS documents. In 1972, Bush's unit activities underwent a change that could point to a degradation of his ability to fly a fighter jet. Last week, in response to a lawsuit, the White House released to the Associated Press Bush's flight logs, which show that he abruptly shifted his emphasis in February and March of '72 from his assigned F-102 fighter jet to a two-seat T-33 training jet from which he had graduated several years earlier and was put back onto a flight simulator. The logs also show that on 2 occasions he required multiple attempts to land a one-seat fighter and a fighter simulator. This after Bush had already logged more than 200 hours in the one-seat F-102A. That's the F-102, eh? Military experts say that his new, apparently downgraded and accompanied training mode, which included Bush's sometimes moving into the co-pilot seat, can in theory be explained in a variety of ways. He could, for example, have been training for a new position that might involve carrying student pilots, but the reality is that Bush himself has never mentioned this chapter in his life, nor has he provided a credible explanation. In addition, Bush's highly detailed officer effectiveness reports make no mention of this rather dramatic change. A White House spokesman explained to AP that the heavy training in this more elementary capacity came at a time when Bush was trying to generate more hours in anticipation of a 6-month leave to work on a political campaign. But in fact, this scenario is implausible. For one thing, Guard regulations did not permit him to log additional hours in that manner as a substitute for missing 6 months of duty later on. As significantly, there's no sign that Bush ever even considered going to work on that campaign until shortly before he departed, nor that campaign officials had any inkling at all that Bush might join them in several months' time. Bush told his commanding officers that he was going to Alabama for an opportunity with a political campaign. His Texas Air National Guard supervisors, presumably relying on what Bush told them, would write in a report the following year, a civilian occupation made it necessary for him to move to Montgomery, Alabama. But the timing of Bush's decision to leave and his departure, about the same time that he failed to take a mandatory annual physical exam, indicate that the two may have been related. Campaign staff members say they knew nothing of Bush's interest in participating until days before he arrived in Montgomery. Indeed, not one of numerous Bush friends from those days even recalls Bush talking about going to Alabama at any point before he took off. Bush's behavior in Alabama suggests that he viewed Alabama not as an important career opportunity, but as a kind of necessary evil. Although his role in the campaign has been represented as substantial, in some newspaper accounts he's been described as the assistant campaign manager, numerous campaign staffers say Bush's role was negligible, low-level, and that he routinely arrived at the campaign offices in the afternoon hours, bragging of drinking feats from the night before. According to friends of his, he kept his Houston apartment during this period, and based on their recollections, may have been coming back into town repeatedly during the time he was supposedly working full-time on the Alabama campaign. Absences from the campaign have been explained as due to his responsibilities to travel to the further reaches of Alabama, but several staffers told me that organizing those counties was not Bush's de facto responsibility. Even more significantly, in a July interview, Linda Allison, the widow of Jimmy Allison, the Alabama campaign manager and a close friend of Bush's father, revealed to me for the first time that Bush had come to Alabama not because the job has appeal or because his presence was required, because he needed to get out of Texas. Well, you have to know Georgie, Allison said. He was really a totally irresponsible person. Big George Herbert Walker Bush, called Jimmy and said he's killing us in Houston, take him down there and let him work on that campaign. The tenor of that was, Georgie is in and out of trouble 7 days a week down here. Would you take him up there with you, please? Allison said that the younger Bush's drinking problem was apparent. She also said that her husband, a circumspect man who did not gossip and held his cards closely, indicated where that the use of drugs was involved. I had the impression that he knew Georgie was using pot, certainly, and perhaps cocaine, she said. Can I do the breakdown and interrupt?
All right, if you must.
To be continued. I mean, it's as plain, it's right there in front of your face. And, of course, the Bushlickers, those right-wingers and well-heeled, selfish bastards, they're going to continue supporting him no matter what. But people out there with an IQ larger than their thumbnail, I'll start thinking about it. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM. Let me tell you about Chuck Alfieri. For more than 35 years, Charlie's been the best in the universe at providing amazing natural hair-looking systems for you guys that are virtually 100% undetectable. That's how great they look. And right now, Charlie's introducing the latest development in hair restoration. It's called the new Laser Light Therapy Treatment. It's used for treating fine and thinning hair, and this new treatment is FDA certified. It restores your hair and scalp back to its healthiest state, while it increases your hair shaft density and volume, too. This new laser light therapy and its cool light laser device is effective on both men and women, and it's a painless, non-invasive treatment that takes only about a half an hour to complete. Charlie and his staff have witnessed dramatic results with this new system that impedes hair fallout for people with fine and thinning hair. So stop waiting for a miracle that's going to stop your hair from falling out, and give Charlie a call with no obligation whatsoever to get more info about this exciting new laser light therapy treatment, how it can solve your thinning hair problems forever, because it really and truly can change your life. Call the toll-free number today at 1-800-321-2413. 1-800-321-2413, or on that wicked World Wide Web at charlesalfieri.com.
The Howard Stern Show. Neil Rogers, mornings and midday, and sports around the clock. 560 WQAM.
Bush, tomorrow.
Don't forget, this is the home of that award-winning lineup. We don't know what it is yet, but it's great.
George Bush, there's a place you can land so that you can avoid Vietnam. Now you said you served active duty just fine. Might you be absent in your mind, George Bush? Your position's at stake, 'cause John Kerry is out to seal your fate. It's those questions about the National Guard that might leave your reputation scarred. It's fun to say you're not AWOL, and you can prove you're not AWOL. What a funny thing, the military can't find where you were in that 1 year's time. You partied and you went AWOL. Your daddy helped you go AWOL.
I have no line.
If you'd only come clean with a story that's real, you might earn back voter appeal.
Are you sure?
12:31. So anyway, this is from Russ Baker in The Nation, picking up where we left off. You were paying attention, I hope.
Oh, riveting. Taking notes. Waiting for the cutoff.
Now prominent established Texas figures in the military, arts, business, and political world, some of them Republicans and Bush supporters, talk about Bush's alleged use of marijuana and cocaine based on what they say they've heard from trusted friends. One middle-aged woman whose general veracity could be confirmed told me that she met Bush in 1968 at Hemisphere 68, a fair in San Antonio, at which time he tried to pick her up and offered a white powder he was inhaling. She was then a teenager. Bush would have just graduated from Yale and had been starting the National Guard then. He was getting really aggressive with me, she said. I told him I'd call a policeman, and he laughed and asked who would believe me. Although cocaine was not a widespread phenomenon until the 70s, U.S. authorities were struggling more than a decade earlier to stanch the flow from Latin America. In 1967, border seizures amounted to 26 pounds. Bush himself has publicly admitted to being somewhat wild in his younger years without offering any details. He has not explicitly denied charges of drug use. Generally, he is hedged. He has said that he could have passed the same security screening his father underwent upon his inauguration in 1989, which certifies no illegal drug use during the 15 preceding years. In other words, George W. Bush seemed to be saying that if he had used drugs, that was before 1974 or during the period in which he left his Guard unit. The family that rented Bush a house in Montgomery, Alabama during that period told me that Bush did extensive, inexplicable damage to their property, including smashing a chandelier, and that they unsuccessfully billed him twice for the damage, which amounted to about $900, a considerable amount of money in 1972. Two unconnected close friends and acquaintances of a well-known Montgomery socialite, now deceased, told me that the socialite in question told them that he and Bush had been partying that evening at the Montgomery Country Club, combining drinking with use of illicit drugs, and that Bush, complaining about the brightness, had climbed on a table and smashed the chandelier when the duo stopped at his home briefly so Bush could change clothes before they headed out again. It is notable that in 1972 the military was in the process of introducing widespread drug testing as part of the annual physical exams that pilots would undergo. For years, military buffs and retired officers have speculated about the real reasons that Bush left his unit 2 years before his flying obligation was up. Bush and his staff have muddled the issue by not providing a clear, comprehensive, and consistent explanation of his departure from the unit, and particularly, the President has not made himself available to describe in detail what did take place at the time. Instead, the White House has adopted a policy of offering obscure explanations by officials who clearly do not know the specifics of what went on, and the periodic release of large numbers of confusing or inconclusive documents, especially at the start of weekends and holiday periods when attention is elsewhere. In addition, the Bush camp has offered over the past 2 years a shifting panoply of explanations that subsequently failed to pass muster. One was that Bush had stopped flying his F-102 jet because it was being phased out. The plane continued to be used for at least another year. Another explanation was that he failed to take his physical exam in 1972 because his family doctor was unavailable. Guard regulations require that physicals be conducted by doctors on the base and would have been easily arranged either on a base in Texas or after he left the state in Alabama. One of the difficulties in getting to the truth about what really took place during this period is the frequently expressed fear of retribution from the Bush organization. Many sources refuse to speak on the record or even have their knowledge communicated publicly in any way. One source who did publicly evinced doubts about Bush's activities in 1972 was Dean Room, who flew formations often with Bush and was his roommate for a time. You wonder if you know who George Bush is, Room told USA Today in a little appreciated interview back in 2002. I think he digressed after a while, he said. In the first half, he was gung-ho. Where George failed was to fulfill his obligation as a pilot. It was an irrational time in his life. Yet in subsequent years, Room has revised his comments to affirm insistence that nothing out of the ordinary took place at that time, and after one interview, he emailed me material raising questions about John Kerry's military career. Room, who operates a curio shop in a Texas hamlet, told me that Bush aides, including communications advisor Karen Hughes, and even the president himself, stay in touch with him. Several Bush associates from that period say that the Bush camp has argued strenuously about the importance of sources backing the president up on his military service, citing patriotism, personal loyalty, and even the claim that he lacks friends in Washington and must count on those from early in his life. In 1971, Bush took his annual physical exam in May. It's reasonable to conclude that he would also take his 72 physical exam in the same month, yet according to official Guard documents, Bush cleared the base on May 15th without doing so. Fellow Guard members uniformly agree that Bush should and could have easily taken the exam with unit doctors at Ellington Air Force Base before leaving town. It's interesting to note that if the Killian memos released by CBS do hold up, one of them, dated May 4th, 72, orders Bush to report for his physical by May 14, 1 day before he took off. Bush has indicated that he departed from Ellington Air Force Base and his Guard unit because he had been offered an important employment opportunity with a political campaign in Alabama. The overwhelming evidence suggests, however, that the Alabama campaign was a convenient excuse for Bush to rapidly exit stage left from a guard unit that found him and his behavior a growing problem. If that's not the case, now would be an excellent time for a president famed for his superlative memory to sit down and explain what really happened in that period. Writes Russ Baker in The Nation. It's on our website.
Fat chance.
Yeah. Hold your breath, okay? We'll let you know when to let it out. Okay, let's get some more names on this poll here of characters. We got all the characters all the time, including all the characters at QM. We got many. Favorite character from a movie: Don Corleone from The Godfather, 56. Dirty Harry, 36. Pluto and Goofy. Pluto from Animal House, 26. James Bond, 22. Inspector Clouseau, the Pink Panther, 21. Darth Vader, Star Wars, 19. Tony Montana from Scarface, 18. Michael Corleone, Godfather, 18. Howard Beale, 17. Is it true, Michael? Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, 16. Ace Ventura, 16. Jeff Lebowski from The Big Lewinsky, 15. Randall McMurphy from Cuckoo's Nest, 12. Forrest Gump, 12. Alex DeLarge, Clockwork Orange, a dozen. Andy Dufresne from The Shawshank, 11. Mad Max, 10. That was Ed Wynn, I think. Wasn't it?
I forgot.
Clark Griswold, The Vacation, 7. Jeff Spicoli, Fast Times, 5. Pee Wee Herman from Pee Wee's Pea House, 5. Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs, 5. Dorothy, 5. How you doing, Dorothy? She was never on a yellow brick road, though, like Julian and Timmy from Passions.
Poor Timmy.
Poor Timmy. Won't see him no more. What a shame. And you know something? The show really hasn't been the same without him.
I'll bet. Never is. Nothing is.
George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life, 5. It's a bad movie, but it's a wonderful life. Quint from Jaws, 4. Indiana Jones, 3. Trent Walker, Swingers, 3. Why am I reading all these? Sherlock Holmes has got 3. Raymond Babbitt has got 3 from Rain Man. I never knew that his name was Ray. I guess I did. Raymond Babbitt. Was he relation to Billy Bibbit from Cuckoo's Nest?
Second cousins.
I see. Terminator has got 3. Alonzo Harris from Training Day, 3. Axel Foley, Beverly Hills, and just a smackling of a spackling after that. 5670560, pound 560, Verizon and Singular Wireless Lines. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Is this Neil?
Yeah.
How about Rizzo Razzo?
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy, or Reagan from The Exorcist.
She was good. She was a head turner. Okay, thanks a lot, Pally. Okay, we'll put both of them on there. Reagan. Of course, they're going to think we're talking about Ronnie Reagan, so we'll have to put The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
And Ratso Rizzo from Midnight Cowboy.
Never saw it.
You never saw? Well, it's too much faggery in there for you because John Voight was a hustler.
That's what I heard.
And he, beat up this old queen. I just don't want to see it. Plus, it's depressing.
Yeah, what's the point?
And, of course, when Ratso's getting ready to die, they get on the Greyhound bus to head to... You know where everybody goes when they're getting ready to die?
Florida.
You're
Florida.
listening to Neil Rogers
over here.
exclusively on 560 QAM.
Rogers.
God.
They're back, your favorite Jewish rock and roll nostalgia band. It's Rosh Hashanah with their greatest hits album, Sock Hop at the Synagogue.
My rabbi said he's gonna circumcise my baby.
Yes, Rosh Hashanah has reformed to bring you 12 kosher cuts of hot and Hebrew hijinks.
That joy isn't good for Jews.
This album should be in every Orthodox Rockers collection. Rolling Stone gives it 5 stars of David.
Who wrote the book of Job?
Sock Hop at the Synagogue, new from Rosh Hashanah. Available in all record stores. We'll talk price when you get here. Don't pass over this album.
Remember that novelty record by the Silhouettes? Get a Job? 12:45 at 560 WQAM. I bet you Gary Sarner ain't there today. He's busy koshering the house. He's making sure that nobody's eating trafe in his house. Todd Dreck, guarantee he ain't there. Who else have we got? I'm going to be fascinated.
The staff.
They're going to make Mo work on Rosh Hashanah?
They're going to
You'll never find out from Clarence because he's also not there. He's another one. We don't have too many goyim there, you know?
Joe Z?
Oh, please don't tell me Joe Z is there today. Oh, no. Here's a fact, speaking of afternoon, who's going to be on. It says, if the Hammer does not return, who then is going to give us the over and the under and the under and the over on the games? Because I'm sure Mo Howard David has no clue on that information.
Absolutely.
Maybe since the Dolphins are going to be so bad, they don't want the Hammer to open up Pandora's box. I think the Hammer would like to open up Pandora's box, if you ask me, but what do I know?
What's in the box?
5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines, your favorite movie character of all time. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is this Neil Rogers?
Yes, it is.
Can I get on?
You're on. You're it.
Oh.
Go ahead, Pally. Quit listening to your radio. That delay will drive you nuts. And me, too. And George. And Josh. And the audience.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Go ahead. Hold this. Hold on. He probably went to turn the radio down. Too late. We don't have time for that. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, Pally. Go ahead.
Okay, earlier you guys were talking about that movie, The Great Race.
Right.
That guy who, I guess is George, he's not too straight on the story. Keenan Wynn was the assistant to Tony Curtis. And that's Jack Lemmon who says that. He says it to Peter Falk.
That is definitely, you know something? I know Jack Lemmon, and I guarantee you that is Jack Lemmon.
Let me tell you something. I got the DVD. It is 100% Jack Lemmon. And
No
Peter
question.
Falk is his assistant, Max.
Right.
And he actually wins the race at the end. Tony Curtis plays the guy, the Great Leslie. And Natalie Wood is like some muckraker reporter like Nellie Bly.
Mm-hmm.
And she scams Keenan Wynn out of his spot. And she becomes his assistant, Tony Curtis's assistant.
After all these years, we finally got the straight poop on this.
And that's exactly how it
Tony
goes.
Curtis
I've just
is pretty
seen it.
excited about it.
Yeah, he plays the Great Leslie. And also, Ross Martin is in that movie. The guy from Wild Wild West.
Right.
He plays a heavy that he has a sword fight with, Tony Curtis. But
Excellent.
and the race goes from New York across America, across like the Arctic to Paris that way.
I'll be damned. All the way to Uranus. Okay, thanks
So
a
there
lot,
you go.
Pally. Appreciate
You're very
it.
welcome. Bye.
See, you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
Let me hear it again. We did this a couple times before, and I never paid much attention because I didn't watch the movie, and it sounded no one
not
to me.
for the fact
Listen,
that- all right.
just quiet, dummy up, and listen. Definitely Jack Lemmon.
Okay.
That sounds a bunch like Keenan Wynn.
When I had the DVD of the movie in my hand, and I was dubbing that drop that you're playing there, and it was coming out of Keenan Wynn's mouth, see, that's how I know that it was Keenan Wynn.
Well, maybe he's a ventriloquist.
All right. Keenan Wynn with the gap between his teeth and the mustache. With the crazy car.
No.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting sucked in, if I can say that. It sounds like Jack Lemmon.
No, I did a lot of drugs, so maybe I'm wrong, but nevertheless.
I think that must have been it. Not as much as the president, but you're working on it. He's a lot older than you.
Well, yeah, he had a head start.
Yeah. In fact, when he started that Head Start program. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. Anybody else would like to contribute to the great race or even the human race? Because, to be honest with you, it just bores the hell out of me, but it kills me good time. Because I didn't see the movie, so what do I care? WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. I'd like to make a couple of suggestions for your poll.
Go right ahead.
Okay. What about, of course, Mini-Me and Dominic DiNapoli?
Dominic DiNapoli, the Napoli boys.
Right.
Yeah, right. Excellent choices.
All right. So what do you think about Mini-Me?
They're both, like I said, excellent choices.
Oh, okay.
What do
All
I
right,
think
make
about
sure they're
Mini-Me?
up
I've
there.
never seen him and Maddie Bell together. Thanks a lot, Pally. Two good ones. Mini-Me, Austin Powers. And Dominic DiNapoli from Fatso. Oh.
Get the honey, Junior.
The DiNapoli boys. Whatever he's humming. Get the honey, Junior. It's so great, and a lot of people just hard asses. They won't watch it. All the stupid ass movies you go out and rent, and really something really good like Fatso you won't watch. Although it might make you hungry.
By the way, something.
Yes.
It is Joe Zagacki today.
For what?
For fun.
You must be psychic. And you forgot to mention something.
What's that?
Joe Zagacki sucks, okay?
Okay.
Joe Zagacki from Mo Howard David. I told you that you bastard ain't going to work on Rosh Hashanah. I told that. Josie at 4. Oh, brother. Listen. It's none of my business. They pay me a lot of money. I'm happy to take the checks. I'll, go out and plunge my guts out at Woodbine at the casino, have a good time, or at the track, whatever I want to do. But you know something? It just is reaching the point. You keep thinking, well, you know, it's the summertime, it's the 4th of July, it's Labor Day. It is now the 16th of freaking September. And I keep asking myself, when? Remember the Kalin twins and when?
Mm-hmm.
When is Greg Reed finally going to get this place organized and get his act together and get a toe on the ground and give a little bit of consistency to the audience? So that, see, he's probably I don't know what he's thinking. Of course, thinking and him are not a good match. But if they are thinking that this mystery with Hank is, well, when is he coming back, you know, creating a lot of controversy, the only thing it's doing is pissing off his audience and making all the rest of us feel very uncomfortable about it because we have got no idea. And there is not a day that goes by when we get that morning visit. Of course, when I'm here, I get an audio visit, but nonetheless, they're down there from Clarence and Duff, both or each or whatever. And not a day goes by I don't ask them the question, well, what's going on? What's with the humper? What's with
I don't know.
And it's always the same. And, you know, small talk and talk about the bacon from Howie's and crap, you know. Not that the bacon from Howie's is crap. It's very important and it's good stuff. But you know what I'm saying. Relatively speaking, crap. 16th of September, it's about time now to get this crap going, baby. To get the bus on the road, to put the pedal to the metal and floor it. Otherwise, we're going to be all feeling like life is passing us by. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes I feel. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, how are you, buddy?
Sensational.
I can't believe you let that guy say Peter Falk and sword fight in the same sentence. How did that go? I can't believe it.
Keep moving
All
on.
right.
We're under a
I
lot
got
of stress
this weird obsession I got to go over with you.
Yeah.
I work smack in the middle of,
Smack,
you know, 103.1 and
Yeah.
WQAM. So I can listen to both Howard Stern's.
Right.
And because the delay's so bad, I hear...
What do you mean the delay? The 10 delays we got, the 30-second delay.
It's so long, so every time I hear him say something, now I got to switch over and see if they bleep it out or not.
Right.
Now, the other day, I'm not going to say any words. I know how to work this.
Please.
But do you know the play? It's a female body part monologue. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's in New York. It starts with a B.
Yes, I do. Okay, yeah.
They bleep that word out.
Oh, we can't say that.
Oh, you can't say that
We
monologue?
can't say any word that begins with V.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's going to leave a mark.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
In fact,
well,
when you go through the planets, you have to be careful how you pronounce Venus.
I just can't believe that. I mean,
That's the only one we can say that begins with a V, just to make sure we don't say something else.
Isn't that a scientific word, I thought?
No, not anymore, it's not. Not according to Joyce. It's the world according to Joyce, baby.
Oh, God, I hate Greg Reed.
That's the best call of the year.
Oh!
All right. Isn't that incredible?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Well, Muff told me that I should watch out for Enos. Yeah, that's what he said. Well, he spends a lot of time talking about Enos Slaughter, the outfielder who used to play for the Cardinals and the Yankees, great baseball, the Mr. Hustle, long before Charlie Hustle. He was the great,
I thought you were talking
Enos
about Chronic
Slaughter.
Enos.
And his nickname used to be Enos the...
Sheriff.
Meanest. It is so childish, so pathetic, and that's another part of this whole thing that's coming like unraveled and unglued. The Greg Reed empire crumbling at his feet. WQAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes, I am.
when you say movies, do you mean like theater movies, or can it be a movie of the week?
Oh no, not a movie of the week. No TV.
Oh, come on, Perry
How about a week's
Mason.
movie?
Perry Mason.
There was a Perry Mason movie, like an in the theater movie, believe it or not. And,
We love
that's
Perry
fine.
Mason.
Sure, Raymond Burr, she was good.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks,
Bye.
man. Have a great day. Right? But she was pretty insistent about it. She loved Perry Mason.
Well, how could we deny it?
I'm going to get the theme out. She inspired me. I love the theme, don't you?
That's a great theme.
Yeah. And how about Della Grease?
Well, how does she fit in?
So far, loosely. And sure as hell not with him. What's your all-time favorite movie character? Don Corleone, Godfather, 58. See, now there's a guy, Raymond Burr. Now, he was big and heavy and masculine. Even when he was in that wheelchair, he still was like a macho guy. And it turns out that he had like a lover for how many years? He was and moved to Hawaii and all this other stuff. But when you see gay people, represented on TV, it's always queer as folk and all the other flaming, screaming and like that. What's that Tutti Frutti one that King is always putting on there on CNN, which we'd never think of what that thing's name is?
Cujo?
Nah, the other one. Well, that one and the other one, the two of them. Oh, my God almighty.
That's every minority...
Thank God that television does not, I say this all the time, I'll say it again because I can't say it too many times, doesn't poorly portray ugly stereotypes as the general run-of-the-mill, whatever you fill in the blank, Right. Because, that Amos and Andy, all the black folks I've met in my life, they act just like that.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM. Buttheads, it's the 1 to 2 hour. All right.
Abu Ghraib.
He's categorically denied he ever snorted a line of cocaine. He said that it's not true that he ever used cocaine. Georgie lies when he denies that he tried cocaine. What the Republicans say in an attempt to save his campaign is that he's pure as a saint and he will never play with cocaine. Georgie lies when he denies that he tried cocaine.
102 at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you one thing, we're sure making a big deal again out of this. Let's be sure and put on the poll Professor Fate from the Great Race, regardless of all this other chimness that's going on. Now, are you admitting that you're wrong, or is
I'm
just
wrong.
sarcastic?
No, I wrote it. I'm wrong. I'm so wrong. I got the Catholic chains. I'm going to flagellate myself after the show.
What did I tell you the other day? You're such a stubborn bastard,
yeah,
man.
Well, that goes with the package.
Wow. Here's a fax that says, just to set the record straight on the Great Race, push the button, Max! George is still wrong. Jack Lemmon did play the part of Professor Fate in the Great Race. Professor Fate, Jack Lemmon says, push the button, Max! Professor Fate had the car that did stuff, as George said. He was the villain. Max was Professor Fate's partner, played by Peter Falk, and he said to him, push the button, Max! Keenan Wynn played the part of Hezekiah.
Yes.
Tony Curtis's partner. He didn't have a car. He didn't say much. Tony Curtis is the great Leslie. He had the pure white car, the Leslie Special. And then it's got a quote from Warner Brothers about who played this and who did that one and who jumped on top and who was on. And his vote is for Professor Fate. Jack Lemmon from the Great Race, who said, push the button, Max! I mean, when you listen to it, it's so obviously it's him. You don't know you're Jack Lemmon, mister. Even
all my life, I thought that was Keenan Wynn.
Well, see, so
here you go. Wait.
I'm sorry.
And
I
apologize. All right. Oh, there you go.
Oh!
Wait, let me get it out.
Put it back in.
Oh!
All right.
Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, let's do another one of those shows in a couple of months, huh? We haven't done that in a while.
All right.
Well, we've done 80 million of those, but I do like those shows.
Yeah, they kill a good show.
No, I'm not talking about killing the show. It's fun, the TV thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, not for the punks, of course. What do these punks know about, like... Well, speaking of that, how about Jack Lord?
What about him?
What about her?
Jesus Christ.
Now, what's the one that I always play that I'm just obsessed with that nobody else agrees with me on, except you? You're about the only, what's the one?
Barnaby Jones.
Barnaby Jones gets his man. But it's not on his disc, I don't think. Huh?
It's rousing, if not arousing.
Duff Lindsay gets his man. I don't see it on here. I'll find it on the other disc.
Good.
5670560 #560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, good. I got two names for you, Paul.
2 names, okay. Numero uno?
Burgess Meredith from Rocky.
Okay, that's a good one. Burgess Meredith. Love Burgess Meredith as the Penguin in Batman.
Yes, also very good. Second one is Madeline Kahn in Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Good to hear you.
Names of either one of those characters. Okay, Plunk.
Yeah, he gives us the actor and the actress, and he doesn't give us the name of the
Yeah,
character.
his favorite, my AS.
What was Rocky Burgess Meredith's
Mickey.
name?
Thank you, Miguel.
Who?
Mickey.
Mickey. Okay. Mickey and Rocky. And the other one was Madeline Kahn, who played what?
I don't know.
We'll
Pepe
find
Le
out.
Fou.
Pepe Le Pew. 567. I wonder if she's kin to that Dufresne guy. WQAM, hello.
Fucking George.
Yeah, George really has egg on his puss, I'll tell you that right now. After arguing
for years.
and vehemently, my God. I mean, taking all the spotlight off of Josh Cordes there, who's been giving us the wrong scores every day in the ball games. And that's small potatoes now compared to this. Because this is an ongoing, years-long saga with George in the audience. You're wrong, George. No, I'm not. No.
Well, it's laid to rest now.
Happens to everybody, okay? You're wrong. I mean, you know.
Well, it's like you with the Invisible Man thing. For years you said that.
I still say it's Raymond Massey.
A new one now.
Well, not Raymond Land. Raymond Massey, he was a driver at Hazel Park.
Oh.
5670560. So Claude rains and, rains in Spain fall mainly in Uranus. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Got one for you, Paul.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson, Jules from Pulp Fiction.
Jules from Pulp Fiction, okay.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much. Thanks. Got it?
We got it.
What, do I hate that movie or what?
So if you hated that movie,
Yeah.
then you're really going to love Reservoir Dogs, which was in the same vein, but 100 times as boring.
You always say the same thing every time we do this thing. Every time somebody mentions Reservoir Dogs, you always say, oh, boy, if you hate Pulp Fiction. It just was not for me, okay? I'm not a pseudo-intellectual.
Are you sure?
And I just, and I think that was what really turned me big time against John Travolta. And then I saw him in a couple of things where he was pretty good. I kind of like, give him another shot. He's okay.
Yeah.
As long as he's not doing that,
As long as he's Vinny, he's okay.
Yeah. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Wireless Singular Wireless line. We got another butchered lineup today. We had the bestest during this morning on tape, another rerun because it's Jew holiday. And then we got Mad Dog at 2, who's as goyish as they come. And then we got Joe Zagacki, a good Polish boy there. He'll be on for Mo Howard David because Mo is he's rubbing his tzitzes, like a grasshopper rubs its hind legs together.
Him too?
Mo is rubbing his tzitzes right now as we speak, and probably got his talus and the whole deal.
His payas.
Right. Oh, wouldn't he look good now with that payas? Now that he's got no hair on there, he'd look lovely. At any rate, Mo is taking it off because it's the Jew holiday, so Joe Zagacki will be on at 4. 6:30, you got your Marlins on deck, a huge game. Let's have a little more than 12,000 people out there, for Christ's sakes. Man, big doubleheader yesterday. They get 12-6. Been putting on a tremendous performance for you people last couple of months now, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we're not interested. We don't care. It might rain again. We got to put up the plywood and the shutters just in case. Get out there and quit with the BS. What a horse and buggy town. Plus all the money you were going to spend on the Panther games, now you can spend on the Marlin games because there ain't going to be no Panther season. Don't be spending those sending them your money. Why wouldn't they listen to me? I kept telling them and telling them, do not. And, of course, they keep, believe me, as a season ticket holder, I know, they keep sending you, just filling up your mailbox and your voicemail with messages and things in the mail. Oh, yeah, and be sure we do your season tickets, and we want more money right now. We want that deposit. And then, of course, don't forget about those playoffs. Right. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, is this Neil's show?
It sure is. This is he.
Oh, hi. I have two for the poll. 2 Franks, actually.
Okay.
One, Frank, Dennis Hopper's Frank from Blue Velvet. And Tim Curry's Frank Furter from Rocky Horror.
Oh, good one.
Frank
All
Furter,
right.
okay.
Frank,
yeah.
Sounds like lunch is ready. Thanks.
All right.
Frankfurter.
We had 2 ladies call today. How do you like that? 3.
Oh!
3 women today. Boy, we're really making some progress. Don't you kid yourself, mister. You watch. You mark your words when that number comes out. A week from tomorrow, we got the trend comes out. That's June, July, and August. And, of course, that should start to show a little, not much, huh?
It should show something.
Yeah, a little turn, a little uptick. Because we started carrying Stern August 16, And probably very, very little of Stern on this station is going to be reflected in this. It's going to be the next one. That's going to be the biggie. We'll see. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Okay, is this Neil?
Sounds like me.
Okay, Neil. I got one for you. Madeline Kahn was Lily von Stupp.
Yeah.
And the other
You
one
can't say that.
in Blazing Saddles, Alex Karras as Mongo.
In Blazing Saddles? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Alex Karras.
Well, Mongo is the character, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't know who Alex Karras was.
Who was he?
A football player, Detroit Lions.
Yeah. I mean, I know the actor.
Big
football player.
Fat. Well, he used to be a football player, big fat football player.
Jarhead.
There you go. That's him. WQAM, hello.
How you doing, Nick? Nick, cut me, Nick.
Welcome to the Nick Rogers Show. How you doing?
Cut me, Nick, cut me. For Christ's sake, Rock, he'll kill you. Bye, Neil.
Cut me.
Wow. I'm almost speechless at this point. WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you?
Pretty good, still?
How's everything?
Everything is fine. Just,
Oh, we're fine.
Right.
Good. Glad to hear it. Enjoying the show. I got one for the poll.
Okay.
How about Gilbert's clone, Renfield, from the original Dracula?
Excellent choice. Magnificent. Okay, thank you. Yeah, right. He'd never hurt a fly. Just like Tony Perkins on Psycho. He never hurt a fly. He might eat it, but he would never hurt it. Renfield was good. In fact, you know something? He probably worked at QAM. Oh, guaranteed that if he worked at QAM, he would.
I hate this place.
Right.
Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. Nothing works here. I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. I hate this place. Nothing works here.
Well, it may be a surprise to some, it may be a lesson to others, but that's exactly the case. It's the outer bands, the outer fringe of this hurricane that may have been the costliest.
Listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Men, and they look like women.
Jumped in the taxi cab, I said, driver, Central Park. He looked at me so quizzically, I could tell he was in the dark. So I acted out my park charade, and with my arms the trees I made. Nobody speaks English anymore. I went down to Miami Beach where the weather is nice and sunny. I walked into a liquor store, but the guy there talks real funny. So I asked him for a pint of whole Jim Beam. He says, no entiendo. What does that mean? Nobody speaks English anymore. At the corner deli. Hell, I think I'm in Pakistan. Speak English, Millie. Or you can go back to Iran. I came here many years ago. Learned my ABCs. I don't say muchas gracias. I say pretty please. So get yourself to a classroom quick. You're an American now. Stop making mistakes. Nobody speaks English anymore.
118 at 560 WQM. Don't forget the QM fan right now till 2 is at the Wendy's 8100 Northwest or West 33rd Avenue in Hialeah. Stop by to win some garbage prizes. But while you're there, you can register to win a Honda Civic Hybrid from South Florida Commuter Services. And 5 to 7 this afternoon, the van will also be at the Publix at 1305 North University Drive in Coral Springs. Look for the Rock Green Light Beer display.
Rock solid.
And spin the wheel for prizes. It's almost like playing Wheel of Fortune. Ain't it? Right.
That's the wheel sound effect.
Candidate John Edwards promised the West Virginia Mother yesterday that if the Democratic ticket's elected in November, the military draft would not be revived.
All right.
During a question and answer session, the mother of a 23-year-old who recently graduated from West Virginia U asked Edwards whether the draft would be reinstated. There will be no draft when John Kerry is president, Edwards said in a statement that drew a loud standing ovation.
Oh, man.
Can you believe that?
What a tragedy.
There must be schmutz like crazy on this
you're going to have
thing.
to lick
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, no.
Good gob on it.
Woo. There's halava. Man. There's bacon and eggs. There's kishki. I'm going to wipe it off and see if I can play it, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to smear it. Remember that whole business about the CD cleaners and the CD player cleaners and all of that?
Yeah.
I never got any of that stuff.
No.
But this is not the player. There was legitimate heavy-duty schmutz. Probably one of those mornings I was eating bacon. There probably are fewer things in the world because you have to touch it with your hands. Nobody eats bacon with a fork. You know, you eat it with your hands, and it's like pure grease. Man, can you imagine what that's doing inside your gut? Let's see. I think I did it. Maybe. What do you think?
So far, so good.
Oi!
I'm dying over here.
It was the second verse.
Yeah, worse than the first.
And today, this country is headed toward elections.
Unless they find a way to cancel it. He's not talking about Iraq, he's talking about us. Wow. If that ain't the best, we'll do that again one of these days. Don't let me forget. Not too soon. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like repeating them polls. But that's a good one. Plus, I'll probably have to go out and buy some more discs because we got these new shows. And have you noticed all the great themes from the new shows? I can't think of any. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. Probably the theme from that 70s show is probably pretty popular. Oh, yeah. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, the best team ever, Hawaii 5-0 by far.
Yeah, you're right. Next to
That
Barnaby
is a great
Jones.
team, man.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one, Neil.
Okay, thanks. Oh, now we're doing...
Yeah. Let's do it.
I just want to cry. I'll tell you right now. I just want to sit down and have a good old-fashioned cry. That's great. Yeah, well, we'll just toss that in between, okay? We're still doing your favorite movie characters, but we'll toss in a few TV theme songs, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like mix and match sounds good.
Movie themes would be good, too.
Yeah, we'll get some of those, too, although I don't have any.
It's Terminator from the polls.
Did we ever do movie themes?
You know, I don't think we did.
Sure we did.
I think I got a John Tesh movie theme collection over here.
Best song from a movie. And what was the Aerosmith song from that space movie?
The Apocalypse or something?
Apollo 69 or whatever that was?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You don't
Armageddon.
know. You don't know your Aerosmith.
Armageddon was the name of the movie.
WQAM, hello.
Thank you, John.
Yes, Mr. Spock would be the logical choice.
Yes, no question about it. Mr. Spock. And you still haven't seen those spots with Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy.
No.
Shame on you. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, I got
Yes,
two
sir.
Wallaces for your poll. Neil Wallace, the Robert De Niro character in the movie Heat, and
Okay.
William Wallace from Braveheart.
Okay.
Oh,
And what is it all about? I guess that just caught him right short, right there. Huh? 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir? I have two quick comments before I hit on the poll,
right
if
ahead.
it's possible. Listen, have you heard this guy Mike Malloy? Do you know who he is?
I have no idea who that is.
He is on the Air American Network, and let me tell you, I recommend if you haven't listened to it, his show starts at 10. The best show by far on that whole network.
The show starts at 10 at night.
At 10 at night, maybe that's why, but nobody ever talks about it. But it's the most clear, precise. Because I know you don't like Franken, because and I've seen it. It's very scripted, that show, and it's very
he's
boring.
a little bit too whiny for me.
Oh my
Frank.
God! I see, and you can tell how scripted. You know he's on TV now, right? His show.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but I do recommend that show at 10. One question that I want to ask you, because I know you really don't like Bill Maher.
Can't stand him. In fact, he was on King a couple nights ago, and I saw a little bit of it. And even though I agree with 90% of what he says, he just makes me sick to my stomach. He's just
So, but I thought what you didn't like was his position, because I think he is the only one above everybody else who uses, because he has a very good avenue, you know, to talk without being, I guess, suppressed and he does it. He takes it to these people every time he has them on his show. I don't know if you watch his show, but it's very, very good.
No.
Okay, one of my poll. And George might know this better than you because he's a very popular Spanish guy, Cantinflas.
Okay, yeah.
Who is it?
I think it's, I mean,
Sorry,
I don't know.
You got the wrong George.
You don't know him?
No, if they're not wearing thongs, I don't know who they are.
All right. But maybe your crowd knows about him. Bye.
Is that the Bumblebee guy?
Arrivederci.
All right, bye.
What?
I don't know.
I'm lost, and I'm like laying out on that. I have no idea what you're talking about because nobody speaks English anymore.
No.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Neil, my queen.
Yes, sir. Speaking.
Hi, I'm calling from West Palm.
Yes.
And getting to Stern, my wife, she used to listen to the Buzz, and Stern came in and tore her up, and it tore me up at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to listen to the Mole-Meister, and now that Joe's back at 7:90,
right?
Yeah, he goes till 11, so I got that little buffer between 10 and 11, and I got Bob and Tom before 10, so I'm all set now in West Palm. So
life is sweet. What more could you want?
Yeah, as long as Stern's ass gets off by 11, because that's when Rose, the big-headed one, gets off. And I got one for your poll.
Yes, sir.
Josie Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Jorge will like that.
Amen, brother.
The outlaw Josie Wales.
Yes, sir.
And I had one more thing, but
I thought you were going to say Josie Rocks.
No.
Because he's on this afternoon for Mo. Okay, have a great day, Pally.
Hey, thanks, Neil.
See ya. Don't you think Josie rules?
No, but Josie does rock. Like
okay, good. 26 past 1 at QAM.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
The Neil Rogers.
On the next Survivor, Afghanistan.
Any idea why they make that sound?
I don't know, man. All that peanut butter, I guess.
Scorpions, caves, and no attractive women in sight. In the hope of boosting sagging ratings, PBS wants to know, will these two idiots survive Afghanistan?
Hey, how are we supposed to vote if there's just two of us left? Dude, I'll be happy just to win the Aztec. What's this? I don't know, man. Better not
We beg you to watch Survivor Afghanistan this Thursday night on PBS.
No. Oh, thanks. 1:31:29 till 2 at QM. We got the Mad Dog at 2, and then after that it's
Here's the guy.
Yeah, for Mo, who's being Jewish today. Here's a fax from Johnny who says, what about Cheech or Chong from the pop movies?
We can put them on as a package.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong.
Cheech/Chong.
But, I mean, see, I have a problem with that. That's like the Pee Wee Herman thing. I mean, they're playing themselves.
Yeah.
I didn't say with themselves. I said they're playing themselves.
Not according to them.
Okay. Whatever you say. Put them on there. More the merrier. Okay, how's that thing going? So far, who is your all-time favorite movie character? Don Corleone, man. 70 votes. James Bond, 43. Dirty Harry, 40. Inspector Clouseau, Pink Panther, 34. Tony Montana from Scarface, 28. Bluto from Animal House, 27. Darth Vader's got 25. Hannibal Lecter, 24. Michael Corleone, 23. Howard Beale from Network 21. And Jeff Lebowski from The Fat Lewinsky, 19. Randall McMurphy, Cuckoo's Nest, only 17. How about, you see, there? Well, I guess we covered that when we did the Who's Your Favorite Godfather Character?
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Clemenza, Tessio, Connie, Fredo,
Barzini,
Saluzzo,
Don Fanucci,
Tattaglia. Oh, man.
Fat chick Sonny was boning.
It's like an obsession.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a sickness, like an obsession. Then, of course, there's always Mary with a big schnoz in Godfather 3 with that huge, gigantic proboscis.
I want to pretend that movie never happened.
Stop. Stop it. See, I bet you the Catholic Church said, well, if you're going to put all that nasty stuff in there, which is all true, at least make it a bad movie so nobody will remember it.
Yeah, make it suck.
Right. Well, the Catholic Church knows something about that. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, I was wondering if you caught that Siegfried and Roy special last night, and if you did,
watch that. I wouldn't Siegfried and
Roy.
I wouldn't watch that if you paid me by the second.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, it's pretty heartwarming and all to see, him, get better and all that stuff. But I mean, are they lovers though? I mean, I can't figure that out.
Are they lovers? I'll tell you what. We'll get a congressional committee to investigate that. Are they lovers? Well. Let me see. Let me think about that for a while. Yeah, let's bring in Inspector Clouseau and Sherlock Holmes and Miss Marple and all these Agatha Christie as well. Huh? Wow.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. And I think he was serious. Let's see. Here's a fax that says Mike Malloy at 10 p.m. is the bomb. Fearless, intelligent, and a nice high baritone voice. Pulls no punches. People should try him, says PD and NMB. Mike Malloy at 10 p.m. on Scare America. Why the hell do we want to promote Cheap Channel? That's the last damn thing I want to do. Right? No, seriously, why the hell do we want to promote them? I mean, the Goddess on her tapes and her Live Hour, that whole horseball lineup that they got. Man, you talk about the state of radio in South Florida. Wow, it is. I think right now we may be at an all-time low. All-time low. You think?
Yeah. I can't remember when it was.
I just can't remember such a mess, such a mishmash. Nobody has any idea who's on first, what's on second, who's got. That too. A team of proctologists couldn't find the lineup for this radio station. I'm talking about the one I'm sitting at right now, or at least talking on. Brother. Let me take a look at that schedule for next week. Now that you mentioned, I never even look at those things a week ahead. What's the point? Get depressed. Let's see, that's right, Monday. Like I said, we love our schedule. Monday we got the Marlin pregame at 12:30, Marlins and the Cubs. Oh, brother, what a huge doubleheader that is. Wow. Am I right? Or, of course, by that time it might be a moot point, How many games we got to go, Josh? About 20-something?
Yeah, 20-something.
20-something. So that could be a very humongous doubleheader. Marlins and the Cubs starts at 1:05 and pregame at 12:30. Then let's see. On Tuesday, you got Mad Dog and Mo Howard David. Continues and continues and continues. And then we got Thursday, you got Hurricane Game Day at 4 o'clock. Because you got the Hurricanes and, brother, look at this. Seriously, I can't believe what I'm reading here. Hurricanes Game Day starts at 4 o'clock on QAM, then at 6:30 switches to Power 96.5 FM, because then we got the Marlin pregame on QAM, and then you got the Phillies and the Marlins at 7:05, followed by the Houston Cougars and the Hurricanes at 7:45 on Power. It's just, you can get vertigo just trying to figure that day out next Thursday. Then, a week from Saturday, the 25th, we've got Question Mark of the Mysterians at the Miccosukis because Joe Rose ain't here no more. He's over there on 790 doing a fine job. So then we got, and what about Geldy? I thought he was doing the Saturday thing, isn't he? Boy, it is just a massive mess. It's another Greg Reed effing mess. Nice going, Greg, you idiot. WQAM, hello.
Bill?
Yes, sir.
How can you get 3 Purple Hearts and not spend a night in a hospital?
Yeah, I don't know. Look in the mirror and find out. 5670560. Boy, you talk about a Yahoo. Right there. That's the guy's calling right from Bush Country. WQAM, hello.
Find out of the 8th.
Hey, maybe if he talks real nice to Kerry, he'll come to the house and bleed for you. Okay, he'll bleed all over your carpeting. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Neil? I got the winner for your poll.
Okay.
It's James Cagney, The Heat, the movie Heat, and I got Robert Stack, The Untouchables. Also down with the win with Clark Gable.
Wow. Anything else? Yeah, but which one was his favorite theme?
And, of course, not one of those was the name of the character name of the movie, but nevertheless. Great job, Pally. It was truly sensational. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
I got a great one for the poll.
Okay.
Judge Schmales.
Judge Schmales?
From Caddyshack.
Oh,
I want a hamburger. I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You'll get nothing like it.
Sensational. Okay, thanks, Pally. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it. Ishmael. WQAM, hello.
How you doing? Is this Neil?
Yes, sir. Speaking.
Hey, got a question for you. How do you feel about the Hurricanes offense this year in Brock Berlin?
I think they all go to Berlin, okay?
Good segment.
Especially with them black shoes and socks. What a clown.
Oh.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I forgot to mention one thing before I hung up on that guy.
The Hurricane fucking blow.
And we've seen a lot of evidence of that recently.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Let's be glad FSU choked like a dog, Callie.
Hurricane fucking blow.
Let me tell you something, pal. Long Beach State's a girls' school. Oh!
Prepare yourself for the ultimate showdown of evil. Alien versus Predator.
Look for your lives! Wait, what's that?
It's Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street and Jason from Friday the 13th.
That's right. The ultimate showdown of evil just got eviler. It's Alien versus Predator versus Freddy versus Jason.
There's evil everywhere. Quick, that's right behind this children's doll.
That's no doll. That's Chucky from Child's Play.
Now, the ultimate showdown of evil isn't just eviler. It's ultimater. It's Alien versus Predator versus Freddy versus Jason versus Chucky.
This can't get any scarier.
Oh, yes, it can. Look, it's the guy from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's because now it's Alien versus Predator versus Freddy versus Jason versus Chucky versus Leatherface.
What are they all fighting about?
I think it's over who gets top billing.
This summer, horror has a really long name. Don't miss Alien versus Predator versus... Well, you get the idea. In theaters now.
144, Mad Dog at 2. What about the theme from Cheers? Huh?
Oh, please don't.
Speaking of Tom Jicken, I'm not playing any more themes. Speaking of Tom Jicken, is he like Bush? Is he like AWOL now? About every 3 or 4 days, they put another one of those puff pieces on some TV show, some fall show on there. He hasn't written anything about anything going on in the South Florida market for how many weeks now?
About 30, man.
Hey, Tommy, we're sending the search party out for you and also bringing you a battery-operated radio just in case. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, Neil.
Yep.
Cheech and Chong.
Got him. Thank you. Hey, George, Cheech and Chong.
All right, we'll put him on there.
Okay.
Together.
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got for the poll.
Okay.
Now, guys.
Okay, good. It's already on there. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me put the radio down. Hold on.
Okay. Hang on, give me the phone.
Shit, I fell over.
Oh, yeah.
That was very special, wasn't it?
That was a great half hour.
Yeah, be sure and put that one on there, too.
It's already on there. That's the first choice.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's a lot on there, right. Now that you mention it. Okay, let's kind of recap now.
Yeah, we've got S.
Who's your all-time favorite movie character, we asked, and Don Corleone, he's got it licked, man. 73 for the old Oddfather. James Bond, 45. Dirty Harry, 41. Inspector Clouseau, 35. Tony Montana from Scarface, he be having 28. Darth Vader, 28. Bluto from Animal House, 28. Hannibal Lecter, 24. Michael Corleone, 23. Howard Beale, 21. Jeff Lebowski, 19. Randall P. McMurphy has got, what's he got? 17. Ace Ventura, 17. Alex DeLarge Barge has got 17. Andy Dufresne, 15. Forrest Gump, 14. Mad Max has got 13. Clark Griswold from Vacation 10. Never saw that. Did you say you saw it?
Yeah, it's all right, and it's day.
Okay. Jeff Spicoli. We can't say Spick. Jeff Canoli. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 9. Indiana Jones has got 8. Carl Spackler from Caddyshack, 7. Dorothy's got 7.
Ah.
She's still on that yellow brick road. And look who she ran into. Pee Wee Herman, he's got 6. Bill the Butcher, 6. Sergeant Hartman, Full Metal Jacket, 5. Quint from Jaws, 5. Quint from Dark Shadows, he ain't on there yet. Sherlock Holmes has got 5. Buffalo Bill, 5. Alex Foley from Beverly Hills Cop, 5. George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life, 5. George Beasley, don't have any. Josie Wales from the Outlaw Josie Wales, 4, and a bunch of other stuff. Small Potatoes, the other ones. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Forgot one for your poll. Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch.
Do it.
we're having technical problems again.
Wow. WQAM, hello. Hola. You can do it. Yes, sir. Speaking.
Hey, I just wanted to throw a name in the mix. I don't necessarily have. I just want to throw in Hunter Thompson.
Hunter Thompson from
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or Where the Buffalo Roam.
Okay.
You know about it? George would know about it.
Yeah, I know about it.
Cool.
Well, I saw one of those movies.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen the other one, Josh, so I'll get it.
Let's go to it.
Sorry, man.
Get to it this weekend, okay? Or else. WQAM, hello.
Go
to Shulmo, okay? WQAM, hello.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Go to Shul and beg for forgiveness, Mo. Yes, sir.
I got something for Paul, but two quick items. First, Bush must go. Bush must go. I'm sitting in traffic behind the right-wing triple slam. He's got the Bush Cheney bumper sticker, the little fish emblem, and the Choose Life license tag.
Probably that fat-ass governor is probably his brother.
Hey, that license tag, how many do you think are actually pro-choice?
About 30, man.
Second, anybody catch the Daily Show report about the Cooter Festival last night?
No.
It's repeated at 7 o'clock. I nearly wet myself. It says 7 o'clock in Comedy Central.
Okay.
And in closing for the poll, it used to be Jersey Wales. Now it's Beatrix Kiddo, the bride from Kill Bill.
Okay.
All right?
See yous.
Take care. Bye.
You got that?
Josh has it.
Josh has it. I didn't see Kill Bill Part 1 or Part 2, did you?
Yes, both.
And?
You
was
would
it
not
a killer?
like them. They were... One was better than the second one.
Yeah. You sound
They're
really
Quentin
enthusiastic
Tarantino
about
movies.
it.
I mean, there are good parts and bad parts. They are slow, though.
Kind of like in The Chicken, good parts and bad parts.
There you go.
Like the Pupik isn't too bad.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM. Neil Rogers.
God.
I have no life.
Absolutely.
Start watching Fox News.
No.
They're live every day. 'Cause every last Republican is in New York. All those right-wing dudes you've heard with hair that is gray. They say they want George Bush again. New York, New York. Don't want to shake up down in Washington, D.C. Because the best president is still Dick Cheney. Abu Ghraib. They'll see how much booze they can drink in 4 days. Now that the grand old party's here in old New York, Bush is the Big Apple's friend. If you don't count Harlem, but he's still here. New York, New York.
155, Mad Dog coming up at 2 o'clock. Here's a fact from Rick in Atlanta, not to be confused with Chronic Rick. Says, huge fan of yours from Atlanta, listen to you daily on the internet. Thanks for being a voice of reason in an otherwise maddening world of conservative babble on talk radio. The caller mentioned Mike Malloy is correct. He's very good, shares many of your political views. He was on WSB in Atlanta for several years in the early 90s. And before radio stations decided that conservative talk was all people wanted to listen to. He'd be worth a listen. He was very good when he was on here, and the reason he didn't succeed in Atlanta is because this is Georgia, and you can figure it out. Thank you, Rick in Atlanta. Thanks for the suck job. Now, and a good friend of yours is in the news.
Yeah?
Ariel Sharon.
My buddy.
Ariel Sharon, and I shouldn't probably read this on Rosh Hashanah, has threatened that Yasser Arafat will meet the same fate as Hamas leaders who were assassinated earlier this year by the Israeli military. In ambiguous comments to Israeli newspapers to mark the Jewish New Year, The Prime Minister said he intends to force the Palestinian leader into exile, but he also hinted that Mr. Arafat might be killed.
I'm dying over here.
Speaking to Ma'ariv newspaper, Mr. Sharon made direct reference to the Hamas spiritual leader, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, who was assassinated by a missile in Gaza in March, and his successor as the Islamic Resistance Movement's leader, who was killed by the Israelis the following month. We operated against them when we thought the time was suitable. On the matter of Arafat, we'll operate in the same way when we find convenient and suitable time. One needs to find the time and do what has to be done, he said.
Okay, then. I guess there will be peace in our time.
There you go. That's right. He's got that roadmap out in front of him, and we're on the way to peace. Piece of this and a piece of that. Speaking of that, Lionel Tate, who's a piece, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so is his mom.
Oh, bigger piece. He stood before a Broward County judge yesterday, said he did not violate his probation less than 8 months after being freed from prison in the killing of a 6-year-old playmate. If County Judge Joel Lazarus finds that Tate willfully violated the terms of his probation, he faces 18 years to life in prison. Lazarus set a date of October 29 for an evidentiary hearing. Tate, freed in January as part of an agreement that included community service, house arrest, regular counseling, and probation, is accused of violating probation by carrying a weapon and leaving his mother's Pembroke Park townhouse. And then we have the story she kicked him out when in doubt.
Indeed, she did.
He has remained in jail since his September 7th arrest by BSO deputies. Richard Rosenbaum, Tate's attorney, said he's been negotiating with prosecutors to reach a settlement on Tate's sentence based on the defense claims that the knife is not considered a weapon under state law, and that the knife was found on the ground and not in Tate's pocket as police reported, and the role of Tate's mother, Kathleen Gossett Tate, in Tate's most recent problems. There have been conversations on what the state will be recommending, Rosenbaum said. He's optimistic the state will not recommend a life sentence. How's Nathaniel, what's his name, doing? Hawthorne?
Brazil.
That'd be a good place to send him, like in the jungles, you know?
With the cannibals.
Right. And speaking of Ariel Sharon and that part of the world, finally, we have some, this story is almost can't be possibly true. The State Department said yesterday that Saudi Arabia, our good schmata-wearing friends, have engaged in particularly severe violations of religious freedom and for the first time included the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a key U.S. ally, on a list of countries that could be subject to sanctions.
Oh, my God.
How do you like that?
A lot.
Yeah. A little bit on the late side. I wonder what old Prince Schmatahead's going to be thinking about that next time. Prince Bandar Bush.
Yeah, that's going to upset the Bushies.
Next time he comes to smoke those big, expensive Cuban cigars and drink that fine wine at the White House, while he's explaining away all of this other crap that's going on. But don't forget, thank you for those low gas prices, Mr. President. We don't want to forget to say that before we get out of here today. Don't forget to vote. We got about 400 selections on there for you. Who's your all-time favorite movie character? Don Corleone. I mean, James Bond is second, but not even in the same league, right?
Right.
Don Corleone. He's killing him. He's got 78. Mad Dog's coming up next, and then Joe Zagacki, and we apologize in advance for that for this afternoon.
Bye. Howard Scott Show, Neil Rogers, and Sports Round the Clock. WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.